Welcome back to the Reggies podcast, here with three blokes who could have been anything but decided to have fun instead. How are we going, fellas? I'm keen as for a big show. Lots of talking points other than games of footy.
Yeah, plenty of sport.
Both
plenty of
codes.
off-field
so
stuff.
plenty of
Fucking
off-field
oath.
action going
Plenty to
on.
yarn about.
We'll get to the golf, obviously. That dominated the headlines yesterday.
As it should have.
As it should have. Good on Rory. But first of all, May 17's coming around really quick.
Yes,
What do we
it
got
is.
today as you're listening? 16th, so it's a month away.
Beautiful.
Milton Common, 12 p.m. start, 17th of May. See us there. Owners of Zamoya, you know what's up, and we'll see you a bit earlier than that, obviously.
And remember, if it gets too crowded, the only way you can be guaranteed to stay in there is you have your 25 edition jersey on. Otherwise, I'll kick you out.
Pretty much like your VIP wristband.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's you can't kick me out sort of stuff.
Physically can't.
Still some on the store, reggie.com.au. It's on Reggies.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait, actually.
Me too.
So we've sort of got the numbers together for the bus
Yep.
situation because I opened up a can of worms by saying, let us know if you're bringing a +1. And then I got about 20 +1 comments on the thing. I went, oh, shit. So, that's all sorted. We'll just get a big 52-seater and then maybe some other smaller ones as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's all good. Details to come. We'll just meet somewhere in the city, get on the bus, go out to Eagle Farm, and then it'll drop us straight to Milton Common after.
Fucking oath. I'm super keen to see how our boy goes too. Now that he's sort of, ready to
it's coming
start
around the
actually
corner,
running
yeah.
around.
Yeah. Get in there. Keep eating.
Yeah.
Train hard.
Fucking
and, if you train hard, mate, you'll reap the rewards. So,
As all great coaches say.
Fucking hope so.
boys, Penrith might actually be shit now,
Yeah.
which, shock.
Should have happened 2 years ago.
Should have happened 2 years ago. You can't just keep losing international after international
No.
and expect to keep winning.
No.
And I've seen, obviously, there's heaps of fucking memes getting around of them losing 5 in a row and all this. And
John Cena.
I'm like, I don't know if you can. You
I
can't.
can-
You can't give them shit
I
because you won 4 in a row.
I can look down the camera right now and tell you that I don't give a fuck
You
how many
can't.
we lose in a row
Rightfully so.
after winning 4 premierships straight. Like, how do you... I am disappointed in... We should not have lost 5 in a row. Even considering, like, we should have lost a couple, won a couple or whatever. We still had players there. But, I mean... Yeah, it's pretty hard to tease a cunt who's... Or
You
a
can't.
team. No, that's right. And like we spoke about, I reckon it's the players that we've lost this time. Like, we've lost some centres, we've lost impact back rowers and that sort of thing. But Toto being out for a lot of the season so far, he's that go forward off the back fence. Edwards was out for a bit. Fisher Harris is a huge loss of
Yeah.
just fucking meter eating.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I feel like losing some of the engine is what's affecting us this year, where other times we've lost some flashy dudes,
Yeah.
but you can replace them with a toiler and still get away with it.
I think Luai's presence, like, there's a lot of doubts about can Luai control a team in a spine? What was his impact actually with Cleary? Or was he carried? He's playing some brilliant fucking footy at Tigers.
Mate.
And Penrith look a bit disorganised, and Cleary is out there, and looks like he doesn't have that much help too.
But you got to say too, it's not like we've replaced Luai with a bloke who's played a heap of NRL
No,
on that
exactly.
either. It's sort of like you put someone... Luai's playing Origin, like he's playing the top fucking calibre of footy.
International
for a
footy
couple
as
of
well,
years in
yeah.
a row, and then you swap him out with a bloke who's just coming through.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's sort of like we said, this is meant to happen
Kind of
under the
normal
salary cap
what's going
system.
on. I
Yeah.
doubted it for the first couple of weeks. I went, nah. I was like, Penrith, they just will bounce back.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, you know what? They're being shit. And I just refuse to believe that Penrith could be shit.
Yeah, I know.
And now they are. It's like, oh, well, yeah, who
And you
gives
sort
a
of-
fuck?
And you
could
sort of
have-
go, they've got a fair bit on their hands to turn it around and possibly, you go 1 or 2 years, get back into that contention sort of spot. But, yeah, it'll be interesting. Like we spoke about last week, Jay. So I think the interesting part for me is, Penrith, did they just have a good 4 or 5 years and now they've got to rebuild like pretty much every other club has to?
Yeah.
Or are they actually like a Storm or a... Well, what Roosters have been for probably 10 or so years or
Yeah.
however long.
A decent
are
powerhouse.
Are they still going to be that? We don't know yet. We'll know at the end
Like,
of the year.
even if they write this season off, like, it's a tale of over 2-3 years how you really respond.
It's just it'd be a bit of a shame. 4 years is great, like we said, but it'd be a bit of a shame if you proper went fucking in the toilet.
You don't want to have another 40 year drought and then win 3-4. You want to consistently stay good. But all I really think of is I used to pray for times like this. It's fucking great.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel as good as I thought because it doesn't matter. They won 4.
It's not. I'm not rejoicing. I'm just relieved.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, even if Brisbane don't win, I might see someone else lift the trophy this year.
Mate, this is why it's so impressive with the Storm.
Yeah.
Have you watched that
Bellamy thing?
Yeah.
Like how they've stayed so good for so long.
Yeah, 100% it is. But you think of the big 4 back in the day, he's got it again now.
Yeah.
He's got the trust in those players, and then his engine, he picks, it's like the Moneyball thing, like we've said. He picks cunts, not off their name, not on how many followers they got by that cunt will fit into our team and our morals and our beliefs, and they'll fucking do a job. Like that Josh King bloke.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about him, but that cunt trucks nut all day.
100%. Their forward pack on paper is not even up there, like top 3 in the comp, I'd say. But they just fucking do a job. No, then it's never really like, Melbourne kind of lack in the middle. Like they're just toilers and they just do what's asked of them. And it's become to the point now with Bellamy, who signs a bloke for $400K a year that's been a fringe player at fucking New Zealand or Tigers, and I just go, he is seeing something that we don't know, and this bloke's going to become a fucking superstar from it.
Yeah.
Like, he just brings the absolute best out in everyone.
Mate,
Well, they give the Warriors an absolute hiding on Sunday, I think it was.
Man.
Their bogey team. I don't know if you saw that one from old Joey.
Yeah.
He reckons it's the bogey team.
So he must have said it. Oh, the Warriors are the Storm's bogey team. And then it was just a
stats,
picture
all
of
the results.
Results from the last however many. And they haven't.
Right.
Warriors haven't beaten the Storm in a long time.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of, would you
something
say?
I would say.
I was going to say.
Yeah, that's definitely something I would say.
So, I bet
feel you,
regrets
Joey,
that
mate.
one. But anyway, the Storm give them a flogging. They look really good. They've almost gone under the radar a bit, the Storm.
I think, like, when we're talking about teams and the environments they're built in, right, like, I think the Dogs is a classic example this year of the belief and putting things in place and the whole team investing in it. Because, like, is there any big show-stopping stars in the middle for the Dogs or in the forward pack? Like, I feel like they all just do their jobs as well.
They've got, I reckon they're decent across the board in terms of Josh Curran, Kickow. Like, they're very solid forward pack. Jake Preston.
Preston is a classic
even on the
Dogs
bench.
player.
Tupanua. The fact that they picked him up for chippies.
Yeah.
Just like, fuck, man. Like, even their bench comes on and they are just so solid.
Yeah.
But
They just have that
there's
feel
not
about it.
Haas who's just fucking absolutely barnstorming through them, like almost carrying a forward pack.
Yeah.
Like, they've just got solid from 8, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
Yep. They had the bye, obviously,
Yeah,
and then they'll be back fresh off one. I think. What are they?
Only team that's
5-0.
undefeated, yeah.
Yeah, had the bye, so they'll be ready to go again before
I'm keen
Origin.
to really see how they do go against a top 4 team, though. Against Melbourne, against even Penrith.
Man,
Bronx.
I'm tripping, though, on who the fuck's good and who's not still.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
It's hard to
I
tell.
fucking don't know. Like, normally this time of year, you go, oh, yeah, you sort of see the run of the...
I
how
think
everything-
it's the Storm, obviously. That's what I mean by under the radar, because they lost that one game against the Dragons.
Yeah.
You've
Sloppy
sort of-
shit,
you've
wet
sort of
conditions.
gone, but they're the ones to beat.
Yeah, I
100%
agree.
sure.
I think it's like the way I'm starting to look at it now. I thought the same thing, Tom, was just like, who the fuck's good and who's not. But because we are so used to, in just sport in general, but rugby league especially over the last 10, 15 years, of these dynasty teams that just don't lose. The teams like Melbourne, teams like Roosters, and teams like Penrith that have just constantly won, and they probably lose 2 or 3 games a fucking year. Now, when you're seeing teams that occasionally make a hiccup against a shit team, then they come back the next week and win by 40. It's
Well-
like, I think we're going to have a case of that this year, where every team is just going to be, you make the top 4 and lose fucking 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, I'll tell you how you don't know. So, Bronx are 3rd, and then you got the Raiders in 4th.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Before the weekend against the Eels, the 2 weeks before that was horrible.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
That's what I mean.
And then the Rabbits are 5th.
Still.
And the Whales are 6th.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
still, after
what's
losses.
going on?
Weird.
After losses, yeah.
Penrith sitting with Para.
Broncos Roosters game was one of the worst refereed games I've ever seen. And it was mostly against the Chooks before everyone goes, oh, it's because they lost.
Yeah.
It was just shit across
One of
the
those
board,
sin
mate.
bins that the Chooks got. Fuck, was it early? Who got sent early? That was the most dog shit sin bin I've ever seen. I was laughing, obviously.
I defended the refs publicly last week. I said, give them a break. This is a tough period for them to get used to. But that game
But you know
maybe swayed me.
Do you know
a
what
little
I
bit
don't get,
more.
though?
That was just
It
shit
was.
I
refing.
saw
Horrendous.
one on the weekend. So Abdo come out and cleared up Mayo, who just sprayed his load everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And said, he said, we're just cracking down when it's just clear contact to the head without a slip or without anything.
Yeah.
I saw one on the weekend. Classic just slipped and fucking committed to a tackle and hit him in the head, sent for 10. I'm like, well, where's the fucking consistency
Or
there
Jack
then?
Krzyzewski's school when they brought
So-
it back 10 minutes later and were like, oh, you've got to go in the bin now.
Billy Smith, he was the one who went for the Chooks.
Early on, yeah.
It was gross. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And then we got the square up, though. 'Cause
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
just
Little square up.
just
Little short
says
square.
Yeah.
Right, we're even now.
So,
Literally was.
but just the six agains and the penalties, I just did not know what was going on.
Yeah.
There was a six again in a different game, actually, not this one. I think it was in the Knights Tigers one. I actually sat down and watched that pretty well, that whole thing. There was a six again there where I even wanted to go back and sort of film it because I have no idea how that six again rule works. Because there was absolutely, it was the fastest play the ball I think I saw the whole game. And old mate got off him, stood up. He might have had his hand literally touching his
Which
head.
they do
like,
all the time.
Which way do I go? And I'm like, that literally is the only thing it can be
Yeah.
for. Because he had his
Yeah.
hand on his head.
Yeah, because that thing
Interference
with,
with like ruck interference
just
has
go-
been heavily policed.
And the
Yeah, but
problem
he was
is,
a metre and a half away from him.
the problem is
Hand
too,
outstretched.
if a penalty's rank, you can challenge it. But the old six again, you just got to keep going. You go, oh, you dog.
And
like, I can't
they
even.
and they really, really give them away inside when you're attacking.
Yeah.
Like inside the 20, that's when they just do it over and over. And I just go, well,
It's like they're cracking down
I got
on
no
everything right now. So players that it's like, we're going to come out hot off like the press and just penalise you for everything until you fucking learn. It's like almost what it seems like.
yeah.
But like
no, I don't know.
a few of the other games I thought were fine and they let a bit of shit flow and that. And then, but you have a look at the Broncos game on that. It was just shit across the board.
I
It was-
think
it was just
the-
very heavily disrupted game. And
Yeah.
I just don't like seeing games
I
that are
hate
like
that.
that.
I literally
Penalties, yes.
put
but-
in a Broncos fucking fanboy group chat between a heap of us.
Oh, yeah.
I put Hawks memberships in there and said, let's just change sports. Seriously. Here you go, boys. Jump on in.
What'd you say Sunday after
Oh,
that?
well, they all
Burn
said
'em.
the Lions are going back to back, which they could be.
I
true.
think they might.
But yeah, that's how offered I was. Well,
Yeah.
they were all as well. They were just going, this is terrible.
Yeah.
I'm lucky that I was at the pub for a 21st in good spirits, having fun, because if I was at home watching that, I would have kicked the TV in half, I reckon.
Yeah, it was hard to watch. But
Yeah.
anyway, we got through it. And Bronx deserved to lose, don't get me wrong.
I think they do too, yeah.
Like I said, some of the calls and penalties against the Roosters was shocking. They had more bad calls than we did, but just across the board, it was
Shit.
just rank.
Still should have beat them by 40.
It just sucked to watch.
yeah,
You know?
it
It
did.
shits you when at the end of the game you're like, fucking ref.
That game just before that, we'll have 30 seconds on this and we'll move on. Between the Dragons and the Titans, those are the two teams so far the first half this year, or first 6 rounds. They're up and down like a fucking crack addict.
can't-
How do you just
Mate,
got to flip
there's
a
aren't they,
coin.
Amber?
There's so many of them.
You just got to flip a coin and go, all right, which team am I going to get this
Gold
week?
Coast
Yeah.
have built their club around doing that.
Yeah, I
Just
know.
being so up and
They've
down
always
and
been
never
like
that.
consistent.
I'm
They had
off it.
one consistent season in the whole fucking what?
Fuck off. They
18
started the
years.
year, first round, apparently we made sense of the NRL finally, and they went, no.
Yeah.
No. Fuck no.
I remember a
You
couple
do
of
not
years
have any
ago-
ideas still.
I went to a game where they beat Melbourne like 38-34.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Absolute tri-fest. And I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck am I witnessing? And then the rest of the year, they went on to be typical Titans.
Yeah. Now, as I was watching this, between the Rabbitohs and the Cowboys over in Perth. I said to myself, why the fuck did I tip the Rabbitohs when both halves pulled their strings in the same game the week before?
I thought I saw value.
I couldn't. I went because I checked my tips and I actually because I wasn't here last week on the sports. I've somehow just plucked the Dolphins out.
Yeah.
Tipped them. Tipped the Dragons. Obviously tipped the Bronx. Tipped the Sharks.
Yeah.
And then I've tipped the Rabbitohs and I went, why the fuck did I do that? Both halves.
I think it was more. I think I got lulled into a false where the Cowboys are at because they just were shit, and then I just wrote them off for the whole year.
Yeah.
And then they've kept winning. I'm like, are yous gonna just keep winning?
They've
I
just
just-
turned their season around completely and
fuck.
well
But it
and
was
truly alive.
that one should have been just everyone should have got that because you can't lose 6 and 7.
Yeah, but you got Trell
then
and cunts
Trell,
like
yeah.
Jack Whiten who could have. I thought they should have put Whiten at 6, Trell at centre still, and just had a
thought
steering
that.
them around. But that's why I was like, I didn't think Bunny should have won at all year, and they have. So I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
true.
I'm like, oh, of course Bennett will make it happen.
Yeah.
Oh, nah, you're not, are you?
And then, I thought they could have had Lewis Dodd in there, but, obviously I should watch 80 minutes for every single game of New South Wales Cup and follow, make sure I knew that he was suspended. So, anyway,
Well, yeah, you're a fuckwit,
it's
mate.
my problem.
Raiders did what they should have done against the Eels.
Yeah, fuck,
Where was
they
that
humped
performance? And then the Knights have played 2 of the worst weeks of footy I've ever seen.
Oh, gross.
They've
Why?
scored 1 try in 2 weeks. 4 points in 2 weeks.
I thought, like,
disgusting.
other people, I looked at that and I just went, Tigers
Yeah.
should fucking win this convincingly. And it was like, bit across the board. I think it was just like, Newcastle on a Sunday Arve, McDonald
Out
Jones.
there.
But like we've said it so many times, it's just Kalen Ponga at the moment.
Yeah, and yeah.
And then
Anyway.
he'll probably fuck off and then it's just Dylan Brown.
Right, now a couple of off-fieldies. We should have went with this
yeah.
for the Broncos game. After the game, middle of Suncorp Stadium, you got the fucking King of Queensland out there trying to interview. And there was a bit going on.
Yeah.
So I got a bit of background
Yeah.
before we get into Ladborough. If he actually said that word,
Eat swine.
I'm just... Fuck, he needs knocking out.
I'll get to that after you do a brief.
So, first when I saw it, I thought it was on one of those joke pages. But then I kept
like a
seeing
mock
it.
interview.
Like I kept seeing it and went, it has to be true. Anyway, fuckwit. Don't speak to the goat like that, for one. And the bit of background I've got where I almost was like, oh yeah, that'd piss me off too, is obviously the shit happened at Vegas last year.
Yep, the monkey stuff
With the
with Ezra.
racism scandal, yeah.
Yep. Which
With
by the
Ezra
way,
Mam.
of course, people are going to talk badly about you if you call a small black man a monkey.
Yeah.
Yep.
So everyone sort of had an opinion. Thurston's Indigenous.
Yep.
Had an opinion on it. What's happened is 3 weeks later, and this is all from a known source, this one, so
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah.
3 weeks later, Thurston went on a podcast, so it would have been like early April last
Yeah,
year.
About that.
Still fresh after it
Still
happened.
fresh as after the Vegas stuff where he called him a monkey. Done the podcast. The podcast doesn't get released until finals football in September, 6 months later.
Gosh.
And this would have been all around the time where the Ezra Mam thing happened, where he was on drugs and crashed
crash,
and
yeah.
nearly hurt a child.
Yeah.
And the podcast gets released, and Spencer would have heard that after the Ezra things happened, of Thurston really passionately going in hard on
Yeah,
him
yeah.
because it got recorded 2 weeks after the incident.
Yeah.
And he would have went, fucking hell, this prick's still up me.
And saying nothing about...
and saying nothing about Ezra.
Yeah.
So that's where the miscommunication's been. And yeah, I think that's why he's sort of gone after him a bit. But yeah, don't talk to the king.
So
Don't
my
fuck that.
biggest thing out of all of it is a grown man, like an adult male man, has
Yeah,
gone...
you're past all
I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck about anything else.
About their beef.
An adult male, fully grown, front rower enforcer in the NRL has gone to a future fucking immortal of rugby league and said, I'm eat swar. Say sweet cunt. Who the fuck says that shit apart from a little 17-year-old cunt with a mid-head ratty and a bum bag with only a cigarette lighter in it?
At the train station.
Fucking grow up, man.
And they're
What?
fucking-
I'm eat swar. Fucking, oh, fuck. That is just so shit.
Yeah.
That is shit. Don't do that.
If that is becoming a part of our
Oh,
culture,
come on.
I don't want any
Nah,
part of it.
man, don't.
It's been a long time since I've heard eat
Like,
swar.
I remember
Just
that
any,
pig
like,
Latin
SJ
thing
pig Latin, yeah.
happened. Yeah, it's just, I just went, what? Like that, put it this way, if you grow up with a group of lads, right, and you, like Groper and I, we grew up saying the weirdest shit when we were little, just because we were that good of friends, little, and you have your own little quirky shit, right, in your mates' groups. And you
Inside
might speak,
jokes,
you might
whatever you
speak
want,
pig
yeah.
Latin with them, that's what you do. Don't talk to JT like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh.
In like
Eat
the
swar.
media, even if you're not in a direct interview, but you're dealing with the media and all that,
Oh.
it's like, and you want to actually get your point across, just hold yourself professionally then.
Yeah,
Keep a level
come
head.
on.
Hold yourself a bit professional.
Level head on Spencer.
And it's like,
exactly what I
we'll
mean,
lip
man.
up here on our own little bar right in our studio, or I will in Alpha Bloke studio and that, and then you might meet someone that you hold at a certain caliber, and you'll fucking pull your shit together a bit.
Well, he obviously
I'm not going to
doesn't.
go up
No.
to Jonathan
Expect him to.
Thurston and say, hey, do you want to hear a joke about how I call everything the opposite?
yeah, that'd be like us
But we
going,
do that all the fucking time.
G'day, TJ. You know, it's just fucking. But anyway, back to the thing though. It's like JT obviously has a job to do. He's got to go out and interview players. I don't know the whole story on if he tried a few times and he was trying to say no and then ended up spraying him. I'm not sure.
I think that's what it said, is that he approached him 2 or 3 times, and then, Spencer had had enough. And was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like,
See,
nah.
this is the
But
thing
still,
for
man.
me too, right? Is you go, fair enough if Spencer was just playing hard footy and this one journo or whoever it is just caning him and he's not actually doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
But if you expect to do that in the world we live in today and people who are paid to tell their opinions and their opinion is something against what you've done, you're a fuckwit because you were a dickhead and you called him a monkey, which was wrong, and they said it was wrong. Fucking whatever.
It's the thing with the podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
Genuinely
that
what
makes
it
so
is.
that makes so
That
much
does,
sense as to how
yeah.
it flared up.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you'd go, fuck, mate, that happened so long
6
ago.
months ago. What
Yeah.
the fuck? What about this bloke who's just crashed a car on
Yeah.
drugs?
So
Yeah.
pretty much everything's okay. Stop saying eat swar.
yeah, that's where we're at. Fuck that off.
It's been
Fuck it up.
so. I think it's just been blown so far out of proportion. It's
Oh.
like, if you don't want to talk to a reporter, then don't talk to a reporter, regardless if you're Spencer, regardless if it's JT.
But he's not a reporter, yeah.
Yeah, well, he does all the sideline reports and
Yeah.
shit. Like, so if you don't want to talk to him, just go and walk off. Like, you're getting this fucking aura about you in the media that you're just an angry bloke and you're a big front row enforcer. Like, he's just not helping his image at
Wait,
all.
and
And,
can
that's
I
a
just-
big part of being an athlete.
His
is
image
having
will
a
never come back
A respectful image.
me.
You talk to the press. You do that kind
But-
of job because that's what you're paid to do.
But the
man.
best part about it for him, though, is he's a front rower and he's obviously carrying that old style intimidation sort of enforcer sort of thing. So
Yeah.
it's sort of, if there's any position or player that you could have the bad boy
Yeah,
image
yeah,
to,
yeah,
it's
that's
him.
the one
And
you
can
want.
I just say, too, I fucking rate him as a player.
He is
I think
so
he's an
fucking
absolute
good.
gun. He'd be a cunt to tackle, and I'm not calling him out at all because he'd smash me. But I'm just saying...
He said he'd knock him out.
Yeah, Grover said he'd smash him.
Did he?
But I just mean, I really rate him as a player, but yeah, fucking.
He'll never come back for me now after saying that word.
That's what's tarnished it
There's
for you.
no
For
way.
sure. It's the only thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
if I'm at the footy now and he's doing a lap around the ground or he comes off, I'll just have to.
I
look
probably
away
would
and
actually
go,
see a bit more
yuck
from his side if he didn't. If he had have said, "No, JT, mate, like, I don't appreciate what you've said." So
Oi,
let's just
yeah,
leave
oi,
it at
Russ,
that.
we're
But he
good, I
blew
don't wanna
up,
talk
it
to
was
you.
angry. It was heated. He's fucking yelling out across people in the middle of Suncorp.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
Spencer, you
Wanker.
could have just gone about that so much
Just
better.
you could have just walked past and went, nah, bud.
yeah.
No.
He lost his head and he just didn't need to. in a
Actually,
situation
no.
like that.
You can talk to the goat, even if you hate him.
Yeah.
You talk to him.
You uckwit fay.
All right, next bit. Galvin, boys.
Oh,
This is like
wow.
this was breaking
big.
news 2 days, a day and a half, 2 days
Buzz
ago.
just emptied his sack on Evans, Cherry Evans, and he's been just fucking reloaded with Galvin.
This is
Yeah.
like
He's cleared the
fucking-
shelves.
Ready to go.
mate. This is like
It's pretty wild.
media gold
Oh.
for these guys.
They're laughing, mate.
So he's gone, basically, I reckon, Lachie Galvin. There's no way he comes back and
I
plays
don't
for the
think he
Tigers.
backflips, no.
Not just stays at the Tigers, but I don't think how does he play another game for him?
Well,
I don't
it's,
think
how
long
it's gone down.
season
Like
ahead,
I
too.
didn't know as much like what you were saying, Gropes, before it, where his managers like come out and said he's like something about Benji's the problem.
his
right?
manager does not get along with Benji Marshall, and that's well known.
Right.
Like, apparently, I didn't know that before I heard it, but they don't get on, and the management have told the Tigers don't bother with an offer because we won't accept it, which is wild because apparently the Tigs were going to offer him like he's 20 or something, isn't he? 19,
I think, yeah.
They were going to offer him $1 million a season for like 5 years. That's
such a big deal for
rumors,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's hard to. It's hard to-
19-year-olds don't get off
to not even consider it.
Yeah, it's
How
hard.
bad could your relationship
And-
possibly be?
And like you said, it's a different story if you get outbidded and it's a mutual thing. But if you're coming out and just saying, I don't want to be here,
And
it's pretty hard to just put him there and go, we're all believing in the same thing here, isn't it?
So if he says don't bother, it's all right, but it's this bit. Lachie won't reach his full potential being coached by Benji Marshall. And that's been said.
That's fucking.
And you just
you
go,
just
you
can't say
can't-
that at this stage in your career.
Well, if you got the rest of this year and all of next year that you're meant to be playing for your coach and shit, but
Yeah.
you've publicly said that. You just,
he hasn't
a
though.
coach in his second
Yeah.
It's
year.
the fucking
it's the
manager.
He
I
might
should-
need a new fucking manager.
Yeah, is this manager just trying to get the fucking best possible location and money in his pocket?
Oh, 100%.
See, I was doing a bit
but
of
he
reading.
also doesn't like Benji.
That's
See, his
Maybe Benji
manager's
doesn't like
apparently
you.
the same as Mitchell Moses' manager too.
Yeah, his last name is Moses,
Oh,
this bloke.
yeah, right.
I think it's is it Isaac?
Well, I don't know. I was
I
just
think his
reading
last
something
name
and it
is
says
Moses.
because like a few potential places he might end up. One person saying Para because apparently he was a Eels fan growing up.
Isaac-
Yeah, that's known.
They've obviously just spared 1.1 million a season for fucking Dylan Brown.
Yeah, it's
and
true.
now you go. His manager's also the same as Mitch Moses. So
Isaac Moses is
Yeah,
his
right.
name. So you
So he must
assume
be-
some sort of
is
relation.
there a
there.
relation or is that a weird
Yeah.
coincidence?
But yeah,
So the Eels, obviously talking about where he's going to go, the Eels is an option straight away.
Yep.
For me, as a Panthers fan, I'm going as if surely that would be enticing to say, come play next to Nathan for fucking however long.
so can you look at it on the other side and go, do I want him there
Mm.
if he's going to do this?
Well, he might want to be at Penrith though.
Yeah, for now.
I don't think it's I don't think it's
I
I
don't know.
see what you're saying. It's not a good look to be 19 years old. He's got this explosive play style which is working and he's got a lot of freedom to do it and then there's no secret about a bit of attitude off the field and he's kind of just been like I want this, I
Yeah,
want that.
but how?
Yeah.
But how
So
much
you're
has
19,
he?
Russ.
How much has anyone heard this man, Lachie Galvin, speak on his own?
Exactly,
Or has he-
exactly.
Really,
Or
yeah,
has
it's
he
all
just
quoted.
gone? Or has he just gone? I, as a 19-year-old,
Can he talk?
19-year-old bloke is a kid
sorry.
too, by the way.
Exactly.
It's a fucking kid.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if he's gone. I do not know how to deal with this, but I trust you as my manager to do it. And the manager's just going off because there'd be heaps of people speculating on Galvin himself, but you go, he might not even fucking have anything to do with this.
That is a proper kid, you're right.
Yeah.
He
19.
is.
Yeah,
19. We were
kid.
fuckwits.
Oh,
You especially. Like, I just been like trying to make massive decisions when you got to think about heaps of people.
$1 million decisions
Like-
and your future.
Yeah.
So it's pretty, people wouldn't know, but if there's players going and saying that they do not want to play with him, it must have something to do with who he is too, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at everything that's speculating.
I just don't think
the whole Jerome Luai and him apparently have a bit of animosity. Their
You
play
can't
styles
cop.
don't match.
Luai and Coruscant and all those boys, especially Luai, I feel like he would absolutely be honoured to play under Benji.
100%.
Yeah,
and
so he's probably just going, I
if
think he's
you
looked up
heard-
for Benji for so long.
Yeah. And if you heard your fucking halves partner say, I'm not going to reach my full potential.
Yeah,
under-
you'd be going, I
yeah.
literally come here believing in him, cunt.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
exactly.
I'm not playing. I don't want to play with you. So I don't. He might have played his last game. For
There
the
could be,
Tigs.
there could be so much he said, she said,
Wouldn't
but you're
surprise me,
looking at
man.
it from our point of view, and it is just black and white. Looks like Lachie Galvin is a spoiled brat.
Yeah, but
But
we
it's
haven't
so
heard
hard
from
to say
him.
because
I
we
reckon
haven't
you
heard
can
anything,
definitely
yeah.
confirm his manager's a cockhead.
Well, possibly.
There needs to be so much more cleared up from both parties
Yeah.
on this because everything that's up in the air, like we're talking about now, is Lachie Galvin spoiled? Is his manager a cockhead? Is Benji a shit coach?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
what
and
the
here's
fuck?
the,
Give us
here's
some
the thing too,
answers.
though. He might end up at a club that suits him perfectly, and that's his manager's job is to be in the front line, get called to fuck with, and he might put Lachie
He'll
Galvin.
reap the rewards.
And
With a fat
so,
bank
but
account.
at the moment, you got to go. It's just more for me. I don't want to rag on Lachie because I'm like I haven't heard him
Yeah.
fucking say anything. So I'm going.
Imagine his head at the
Oh,
moment.
bro.
Like if he comes out in an interview and says Benji and I eat swa,
Oh,
I'm
you
would go.
fuck off to go and play in the Super
Yeah,
League.
fucking hell. But
don't know, yeah.
so you obviously got Para and Penrith are options for me. The Dolphins would be an option, wouldn't it? Manly with Ches going.
I think Manly are going to sign Jamal Fogarty.
Yeah, yeah.
They are.
Their
Yeah.
2-year deal for him. That's
Because
pretty,
the Raiders
like,
won't
well-known.
offer him more than one.
See, and that's sort of he'd be a good fit.
I just look straight away, and I always think it now. It's just Roosters.
For who?
Galvin.
Oh,
Oh,
Like,
that's
that is
that's
just
the
every-
grossest halves pairing in my head ever.
If-
How-
Walker,
like, if you-
Walker and Galvin, that's intimidating.
Yeah, but look at there's no way Uncle Nick isn't just lubing up ready
They
for
can't,
Lachie
though.
Galvin and being like, mate, come on in.
They've
we'll
got-
pay you.
Apparently, Nick
They just
Politis
will.
is refusing to talk to his manager though.
Okay,
Galvin.
true.
That's another thing I've
manager
read.
must be a good bloke.
That's what I'm
Okay.
picking up.
Well, that rules out Sydney then.
Well,
So-
I just don't think with that fella who played. What a kicking game that prick had. By
yeah,
the
he had
way.
a great game.
Savala,
People
whole-
already comparing him to Kronk.
mate. Okay.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah, after one big game.
His kicking game was nuts. Sandon Smith sort of ran the attack a bit, but every time they needed to put a kick in, he just put it inside the Bronx 10.
Yeah.
Every time. Anyway,
Chad Townsend is currently buying a property in Warrington, I reckon, and booking his flight straight to Heathrow because he probably won't play NRL ever
no
again.
way. So they got him, Sandon Smith, and what's the fucking
Sam Walker.
Sam Walker. There's no way he can go there. Sure.
Oh,
Anyway.
you need a different sort of style bloke. You can't have a small, skinny white kid on both sides of the
Yeah.
field.
Yeah.
true.
So anyway, yeah, I don't know.
Because you
I
got
just-
you got Dolphins too, where you got Katoa, who if they believe in him.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you have.
I just
other-
reckon
another
it's
person.
the poor Tigs, man. The fans.
Yeah.
Mate, this is Tedesco, Moses, fucking. Who else was it? There was three of them that left, and bloody poor old.
It just doesn't
Brooksy
make
stayed.
sense to me
Yeah.
now,
He
though.
was
I
lost.
understand why those other players left because they sucked ass.
Yeah,
but
but-
now, you can see things coming into play. They're winning some games. There's some solid players who are sort of committed to the club, and you go, "Fuck, is now really
This
the time
is
to leave?"
the best and most hopeful season the Tigers have had
He must hate
in
Benji.
about 15
He must do,
years.
or his manager doesn't. And like I said, I can't help but think he's 19 and he is putting a lot of trust, as
In
you
the
probably
manager.
should, as a 19-year-old
And the
fucking
parents
boy.
probably are too.
So
going,
exactly,
Oh, he knows. He knows.
exactly, and you don't blame it. You think of that age with yourself, or even your kids, and that's what the point of a manager, isn't it? Is to do
Yeah.
the best by
I
that
trust
player.
your decisions.
I reckon it's
yeah.
ballsy because
Oh,
the
it's
whole
fucking-
footy world loves Benji.
Yeah,
Fucking oath.
Like
He's such a
everyone
likeable
is going
character.
to side with Benji. So it's
And
yeah.
but the thing is too, how do you know what he can do with coaching yet? Because he hasn't coached.
he hasn't.
fuck all.
Well, he hasn't had any cattle.
Yeah, exactly. He's just getting
It's his
some
second
troops,
year.
and they're starting to put some shit together. But yeah,
I think
it's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds. But I'm leaning towards he's just not going to play for the Tigers.
Can't.
He can't after that.
He can't.
If that's all true, anyway. and
if
how it's
he
gone down.
had just signed a contract with another team and it was like, yep, I've signed the contract, I won't be here but beyond this.
But I'm committed to the Tigers for the
Yeah,
rest.
you know, I
All,
wanna
all
make-
the media trained
So
bullshit.
how's
Exactly,
it going to
bro.
work now?
Dylan
Is
Brown.
this where it's just normal, where contracts mean fuck all, and they're going to end up just going, see you later, or are they going to pay him and make him play reserve grade till the end of 2026?
Oh, something's got to change with the contract thing. Like they need to implement something like the AFL do with free
Because they could be
agency.
cunts.
Yeah,
if he's
trade
still
period.
because if he's still getting paid fuck all right, he could literally the Tigers could literally be grubs, couldn't they? And just say you can play reserve grade.
Well,
cunt.
who knows what clauses are in the contract? Anyway,
If you simple it down to like normal workforce, imagine you're like, I'm not going to fucking work here next year, like, and I don't really like the supervisor.
Yeah,
you don't
he's
have
a
another job
cocksucker.
lined up at the moment. It's like they could just go, okay, well, fuck off then.
yeah.
Like you can't.
Yeah,
If he was signed for another team right now and he was like 1 foot out the door.
That's
Then-
what they normally do is give him an early release. or
Exactly,
whatever.
right. So it's like if he signs with someone, you probably could see an early release happen this year because they'll just be like, we're not going to pay you, cunt, just to stay here.
They need to bring in a trade period or free agency
100%.
or something at the end of the year because this has happened so often.
Oh, it's a very common issue.
There's always fucking
Transfer
yep,
window.
Here's a bloody 8-year contract, but you've got clauses in year
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, and
You
8
don't
where
actually
can leave
really
early.
have to abide by a contract. Whereas, like, even you see in soccer, like the transfer window,
Yeah.
you can only actually leave the club in that period and you sign in that period unless you are a free agent. So it's like, it's such a grey area contracts.
Well, I'll tell you who's loving this is fucking Cherry Evans.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's just been
Flies
He's just
off
going,
him.
you beauty.
So yeah, he was the turd that still had the flies on it, and a fresh steamer has just been laid.
now Cherry's going
Taking
that
all the
white
flies
crusty
off.
shit.
And we've
Yeah.
stopped hosing that one in.
Yeah.
We're just hosing this one.
That's right.
But Ches has, like, there was so much still unanswered from that, whereas I reckon Galvin's is going to be like.
Well, now
up-
we're not
every
going to get
shit's
any
gonna-
answers.
I reckon shit's just going to come out every fucking day until he signs with someone
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
Cherry was kind of just like,
what
it's
they're
completely
gonna,
died off. Where does he stand still?
mate? He's going to get paid a lot of money too.
Who?
Calvin.
Yeah, I know.
Wherever he goes.
Especially after someone like Dylan Brown has kind of set the bar high now. So it's like, okay, you got another young 5'8" coming through.
Dylan
How
Brown
much?
has set.
Yeah.
Can we just go back to that?
Did you see
Exactly.
the
A
boy-
10-year contract.
has set the bar.
Yep.
I've seen a couple of
wild.
things. Like, did you see that ball he just threw out the sideline? Was that the last
Brown?
game? Yeah.
I don't
and
know.
I
I
just
didn't
went,
watch the Raiders
wow,
game.
that's a lot of money.
Just throwing
To
it out
not
the
ice
side.
I
that.
think Newcastle is sitting there going, ooh.
Ooh.
Quick question. And this is just my opinion, and you will probably be divided here against me. The forward pass thing, you would have touched on it last week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we dove into
there's a
it.
lot of stuff on because every single time you draw and pass the fullback, you throw the cunt forward. Every time. And they just never call it.
Yeah.
Or you draw a pass the winger or whatever. It fucking goes forward. So I get the momentum thing. Everyone says, oh, but you're moving forward, so as long as it goes backwards, out the hands. No. Just throw it further backwards if
That's-
you're moving forward.
I literally said that is something that we can do is go, right, from now on, get further back, cunt. Because if it's the line and it goes past, we're calling it forward.
Yeah.
So get back.
Yeah, people want to argue about momentum.
Like, surely
That's like-
can't we do that? And
Instead
go
of their-
off each 10-metre line and go, no, that went forward.
Instead of
and
their-
it floated as well. Yep, it floated forward. The key word being forward. Cunt.
Make it black and white.
Yeah.
There we go.
There's no grey area.
Like,
And then
if the
everyone
NRL
goes, oh, what are we going to do? Move back a step, cunt.
If the NRL says, hey, we're going to implement line technology so that if it goes forward, it goes forward, but you're going to help us out here by just throwing it backwards a little bit more.
Well, if you know you
what I
have to
reckon.
be back and you know that that's changed, maybe bring it in. Do you know how they do the New South Wales Queensland Cup and they trial shit?
yeah, true.
Trial it there for a bit and see. Because something, like, there was a howler on the weekend. I can't remember which game it was, but I went,
Bronx
that
one.
is yucky. Yeah, that one. And I went, that's what I'm saying about people go, oh,
yeah.
you can't rule on forward passes. That one you fucking can. You should be able to just say that should be a penalty.
Yeah.
it was so bad.
That's bad. It's like, come on, mate. Oh, no, you can't rule on it. And
how do
everyone's
the
like,
refs-
yeah, no, that's a try. Is it? Is it
How
a
did the
try?
refs miss it?
Oh, when I saw him running, I went, no way. The touchy.
I think there might have been a worse one. Like,
Was
I know
there?
the one you're talking
Yeah,
about. There was one. It was on the right hand side.
Yeah.
Okay, that was it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
cunt.
fucked.
That was so
it was
far.
bad. Like
The
you were
worst thing
waiting
to me-
for them to
But
call
see
it
what I
back.
mean? Drawing and passing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
It's just a
when
right.
you sort of pull up.
It's a rite of passage to just throw it a metre forward.
The worst thing for me is they can do as little as review it in the bunker. You know, it's just like, nah, well, it wasn't called on field, so we can't even slightly look at it.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
well, the camera's not definitive, but when is it ever?
But
Yeah.
that's when it has to be
a line or
a
something to go
line.
on.
Yeah.
Because if you go to the bunker and they're trying to work out if his hands
They're doing
are backwards.
Pythagoras. fucking
Yeah, they've got the
algebra.
protractor out, just, ooh, maybe that's a little bit.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
Anyway.
but because like playing a lot of it and running those unders lines, right? You got to take advantage and hit it flat. Like that's the whole point of it is draw old mate in, hit that unders line, bang, and you do not want to be back too far or old mate can tackle you. So it's about hitting the advantage line, but I don't see any other way right now that we can do it apart from that.
You never really see those ones go forward though.
No.
the
Straight
unders
out
lines
dummy halves.
ones.
Yeah,
It's the fucking drawing passes, man.
yeah.
Where you can just throw it forward.
That Billy Walters one and Cobbo won the other weekend against Tigers. Exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Drawing pass and a fullback, and Cobbo basically Tom Brady'd it to the
I'll never let
And
it
they
go.
never called it back. I was
Blake
like, all right.
Ferguson to Tedesco to win the Origin series that time.
Yeah.
Forward.
2018 or 19, one of them.
14, I think,
Oh, well.
yeah.
And then we had the worst ever and won.
Yes, we did.
Let's go to the AFL, boys.
Yeah.
That's enough league, heaps of off-field stuff.
Should we
Jeez,
put the tips in
We're a bit
before we
wound
go?
up then, yeah.
Well, there's a couple of things to get wound up
We
about.
will put the tips in.
Who the
actually.
fuck says Eatswa to JT?
Yeah,
That's
to the
great.
goat.
That's fucked.
Hey, actually, you know what? We can
what?
have the goat debate all we want between
Yeah.
Johnsy and JT, but Queensland's goat at
Yeah,
least.
yeah, definitely.
You fuck off.
Go for
and
me
don't-
too, just personally.
Don't say it to him.
So you'd have JT over Cam Smith?
Yep.
Yeah, I would.
Purely in a Queensland jersey or in
Mate,
general?
Cameron
I'd-
Smith was so reliable. JT would do 4 or 5 freak things a game that you might see once a season. out of another
JT will
cunt.
win you a game,
He wasn't
whereas
as
Cam Smith
hot.
would never lose
Cam
you
Smith
one.
was Mr. Consistent, but just JT and who he was and how much he believed and how much passion he showed.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, these are all different
We haven't got
people's-
enough time.
That's right. My personal goat, though,
Because then
is
you
JT.
Yeah.
sprinkle in Lachie as well. And,
Yeah, nah. Me.
we've been there. We've had this conversation too many
if you're
times,
going to
I think, as
argue
well.
about it, it's got to be between JT and Johnsy, I reckon. But anyway, tips. 4 Pines. Manly playing shit up and down like a heroin addict Dragons. Who do we fucking...
Manly, because they're ready to go back up.
Oh,
and
here
then
we
give,
go.
Give
I'm
me
going
faith. I'll
Dragons.
put a multi on them the week after. They'll lose by 90.
I'm
I
going.
might actually put 13 plus Olakuatu this week.
Oh.
Just because you won't.
I
You
won't.
can't.
I'll
You
never do
can't.
it again. I said I won't. I vowed that I wouldn't.
This is so hard to tip.
It is.
I'm going Dragons.
Yeah, I'm going to go Manly.
I'm just going to back Brookie.
I'm just going.
They've
yeah.
lost 2 in a row now, the Manly have. And the Dragons have won. So
Yeah.
I'm
If Dragons score the first try, Manly will lose. But if Manly score the first, they'll win by 50.
Boy, how bad-
They just can't deal with any sort of momentum change.
How bad is Turbo's injury?
Oh,
Is he still out?
Yeah, like I'm just.
Well, it was
trying to have a
MCL,
look now.
wasn't it? So,
I was
Apparently,
saying
it's
a
all
while.
the
Usually
Telstra towers
to-
in Gladstone are just fucking falling over.
bro,
I've
my
seen
NRL
that.
app shut the bed as well.
I've seen that.
So that's sick. So I can't fucking look at any team list.
Yeah, I got the same drama. Hopefully, we're all good on the over there, Quino. Now this game, Good Friday.
Friday.
Good Friday clash at a
Bad
core.
Monday.
Yep, I was going to say it, and I didn't.
Bulldogs South Sydney. I
Yeah.
think it's pretty obvious.
Oh,
No halves.
dogs via rape.
Doggies.
Yeah.
$1.30 with Neds.
The week
The dog-
off
the dogs.
as well. But when are
That's-
the Dogs going to lose? Not this Friday.
I actually heard on the radio this morning, boys, that it's a 10-year. Remember 10-year anniversary of this game when
Jimmy Graham.
the rules. The
Doing
rules
that.
got changed where you can't charge down kicks because of James Graham charging down Adam Reynolds with 5 seconds to go, and they gave away a penalty because he just touched him on the leg.
Yeah.
And they kicked the penalty goal and won 18-17. And there was like...
So is that the game when I was pissing down and him and Clemmer standing there, I think? Jimmy Graham does the fucking finger point like that at the ref, and then got a bit of strife.
Yeah. And then the refs got fucking belted with cans and shit on the way.
bottles and
It was
shit
bad.
thrown.
Like,
That was, I remember
so it's
that
been 10
very
years
clearly.
since then, and obviously that was a huge rivalry because of 2014 grand final and everything.
Yeah, it was too.
And it was like proper fucking on. And since then, now you just know you can't make contact with the kicking leg or anything at all.
Yeah.
But back then it was
Very black and
like,
white.
it was
Grey area.
extreme grey. So hopefully they
This
get a
will be a
massive
good
crowd
crowd
out
too.
there. Surely
Dogs are like the only team in Sydney, I swear, that actually still travel out to
the
Olympic
fans
Park.
actually care.
Oh,
They
And
go out to
this year
Olympic Park.
especially, mate, they'd be up and about.
I'm pretty sure they're all fucking lad, bro.
I was gonna say they're pretty eat swar at the moment. Those cunts.
I'm pretty sure that's a lot of their fans.
Yeah, bruh.
No hair gel left in the western suburbs. Dolphins against the Storm at Suncorp. I don't
Storm.
think the home ground matters at
No
all.
way.
I think
Melbourne
Storm.
win
Dolphins
by
are
a
up and about though. Fuck, they're up and about.
They're going to be right back down to earth after this
Righto.
one.
Righto, I'll go the Storm.
I'd check if Fisher Harris is definitely out, but I fucking can't. So I think he's gone with a pec injury
True.
or something, which for me means even more so Brisbane.
I think we bounce back. I just think after last weekend, we'll be a team like that this year where we will lose and have a shit week, but we'll be good enough to bounce back.
We have to win this.
We have to.
Have to go over there and win this.
I think it's
this
Magic
is one of
Round. Is it
This is
weekend
one of our
after or weekend
Nah,
after
it's
that?
first weekend of May, I think.
Oh, yeah, correct.
This is one of our very few away games in the next however many.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got a fair few pile up at Suncorp.
We got a lot of Suncorp games. They've already sort of started, but
This is always such a tough test just going to New Zealand, no matter who the fuck you are.
yeah, I wish I could fucking look at who we got next week because I'm pretty sure we play the Dogs very, very
yeah.
soon.
Pretty sure it's Dogs
So-
at Suncorp and then it's
Yeah.
Penrith at Suncorp after.
So I'd love to win this.
We've got a tough run
we'll be
coming up.
tipping 'em. We'll be tipping them. And,
Yeah, see, I'm conflicted on this.
Roosters and
I'm
Penrith.
so lucky that I go for Penrith and I'm tipping them regardless because
it'd be tough.
I would get off them this week finally and they'd win.
No, I'm
Because
not
that's
getting
what
off
I'm
'em.
thinking. I've tipped Penrith every
And
single
you go,
week.
watch me tip against them and then they win.
I'm not getting off
Yeah,
them.
no,
Surely.
Roosters surely can't do the double on them.
Oi, you don't win the next week after playing the Bronx, boys.
Be interesting to know if
Yeah,
Jack
that was
Cole's
Roosters'
still in the
grand
halves.
final.
Don't know.
Well, you get bashed in the middle by the Bronx. Paddy and Haas would have bashed you all
Yeah.
game. You got the win. You be sore. You don't win the next week.
Penrith to bounce back finally. I've said that literally every week. Oh, they'll bounce back this week.
Here we go. A couple of yo-yos here. Titans against the Raiders.
Holy.
You know what?
That's value
I'm
for
going
Canberra.
Titans. I'm going Titans just cause.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Canberra. $1.85 with Neds for Canberra, I think is. Look, if you
Don't
look
get
at,
sucked into that.
yeah, I know. Look at the tipping though, 85%
Man.
to 15, but then the fucking
I'm gonna go
almost
the
equal
Titans
odds.
too.
Yeah, these two are just fucking.
Right.
The Titans are at home. Who
Yeah,
fucking knows?
you just
They've
don't know.
turned up. They've turned up
Look
when
what
they
the
shouldn't have
Raiders-
so far.
Fucking did against Manly and then against the Cowboys the
Right.
next week.
That one is up there with the fucking first one. Dragons, Manly. That's just as hard for me. Titans, Canberra. You just don't know
yeah.
at all.
Go the
Canberra
home
coming
team
from Darwin. That's long.
from Darcy.
long.
Surely the Knights get
I'll stick with
fucking
Canberra.
eaten by the Sharks.
Again at McDonald Jones. They've scored
Yeah.
4 points
Sharks
in 2
win.
weeks.
Sharks win this.
Oh, God. This
And
is
then Tigers win this.
Tigers win, definitely. Easter Monday. Mm-hmm. I won't be watching that.
That'll be a
I'll
great.
be watching Easter Monday.
Great crowd will show up to that one, I think. Lachie Galvin will be watched from the sidelines with a para jersey on, no doubt.
if he's sitting next to Jason Riles.
Yeah.
Are we taking the Sharks? I don't like that.
I'm taking Sharks.
Yeah.
I
I'm
want to
on
take the
Sharks.
Knights. I'll take the Sharks though. Submit. They won't submit.
No, we'll be for
Mine
fucking
submitted.
45 years.
Oh, yeah, they did too.
Oh, what the fuck?
Mustn't need service.
Nah.
Righto. Let's move into a bit of AFL action. Obviously, gather round done and dusted.
is.
Look,
For another
we
year.
really got to get out there one year. I think.
Well, Tom and I said
Guys.
last week, it was like, I want to actually know and hear because they have the different ovals. We've got Barossa Oval
know.
and Norwood. It's like, what is the setup like? What's the vibe in the city? Because we always compare it to Magic Round
So-
and what Brisbane has for Magic Round. I want to know what it's like.
I was almost in the same boat. I was like, they got to sort something out. There was only 5 out of the 9 games at the Adelaide Oval. There was 1 on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Why can't you have at least 2?
Yeah.
But then we always harp on about how good it is at the suburban grounds.
Yeah.
But it's a different sport.
I think it's very different in AFL.
Different sport.
When you're like that Dogs and Lions game, I think that was at Barossa.
Absolute cracker.
Absolute cracker of a game, and the crowd was up and about, but how low the camera sits when you're trying to watch wing-to-wing action across an AFL field that is a lot bigger than a rugby league field. I think the camera's too low
It's
set.
just 2 different sports, isn't it?
I think
And
so.
everyone knows the live crowds that AFL draws, a lot of the time.
When there's
a certain couple of teams that you boys have ragged on, but genuinely it's a much better sport to watch live and a better atmosphere because so many more people go.
Yeah. And I think with rugby league, say at a core that you'll probably get 15,000 fans there, but you could go to a suburban ground and pack out the 20.
Exactly.
Whereas AFL, you can fucking put 90,000 at the G or 20,000 at a suburban ground. It's like, obviously you're going to pick the bigger
Much
venue, the
different,
bigger crowd. So it is, completely different.
I get it. Obviously, you play the Thursday night. You can play. See, you could even have a Friday night game Friday half start at 3.
Yeah.
And then have one start at 7. Like 7:30, whatever they start normally. So you can have the 2 there Friday and then 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday. All of a sudden, you've got 6 out of 9 there.
I'd like to know if Adelaide will keep it or if the AFL will eventually
7,
change it up.
That was 7 out of 9.
Like, I've heard little just rumours around the AFL community about Tassie. I don't know when Adelaide loses their contract for Gather Round. Like, will they take it elsewhere?
I think it's the perfect place to have it, but we just got to get more than 5 games at the Adelaide Oval.
Get as many as you can.
There was a perfect way to have 7.
Yeah.
Thursday, you have a Friday half game, start at 3 or 4, probably 3, and then you have the 7:50 game. There's 2, and then you have 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday.
And then you just have a couple that are at suburban grounds.
Yeah.
The shit games, if you put North and Richmond there, doesn't really matter.
Well, they had Essendon, Melbourne at the Adelaide Oval.
But they're also never going to play Port or Adelaide at fucking anything other than Adelaide Oval, are they?
No.
Because they know
that's
they'll
fair.
get fucking so many fans. Like
That's fair.
That's what I mean. But they'll get the good treatment of the big stadium and then the smaller clubs get kind of palmed off to the small stadium.
Yeah, but you just rotate.
That's what I'm thinking. Adelaide and Port are always going to be Adelaide Oval, and everyone else has to have their share of the shit.
Mate, the few times that they've had this gather round, is it the 3rd year?
I think it's the 3rd.
That opening up with the Crows on the Thursday night has been a cracker every
That
year.
atmosphere was fucking terrifying as a Cats fan on Thursday night, man. That crowd was loud. Any sort of call, they were fucking, the boos were echoing. It was daunting.
They beat, I think it was Collingwood there.
And Carlton, I'm pretty sure, too.
Carlton, that might have been it. Yeah. And that was might have been the 1st year.
Carlton were having a great year, and then Adelaide fucking knocked them off.
And that it's the perfect way to open it.
Yeah.
Is with the Crows every year. Obviously, the result they
it does
made.
start off well, and that atmosphere was fucking crazy. But
Great game of footy. And I think I said to you, the Crows just con other teams into playing fucking this.
They turn it into a Mexican standoff.
Yeah, just an attacking, awesome game to watch.
Yeah.
And everyone just forgets about defence.
100%.
Which is great.
70 points. I think it was 140 points in total
time.
at half
I
time.
watched the
And I
half
just went,
end of it.
wow.
Yeah.
Which is something that we don't really, Geelong's play style doesn't really get conned into very often. We're a team that tends to slow it down a bit, and they'd rather kick to non-contested and just play a certain brand, and we just got fucking conned into there.
I thought it would. I reckon it's because Adelaide go forward so hard. If they turn it over, it's so easy to get them back on the rebound, so you don't want to slow it down.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know. That was just my
very
unqualified take on it.
We weren't just bombing it down the fucking throat of Adelaide defenders either, but we still were playing relatively quick.
Yeah.
So I get what you mean by that.
Bailey Smith flipping the crowd off. Hate to say it, but I loved it.
I absolutely loved it as a Geelong fan.
They were just spraying him.
Yeah. If you're going to, what the fuck do you expect? If you're going to
they don't expect that. Yeah. That's for sure.
Well, get it clean in you.
And the fact
I reckon it's great. If you want to blip up like a hero from the grandstand to a bloke fucking copper finger.
Well, he come out.
The
after-
double bird.
Double bird. So he come out and was like, no, mate, I'm defending my captain. Like, I don't feel sorry. Like, I probably should have gone about it better. And I think it was Rory Sloan on Sunday Footy Show or something said that because he's good mates with Paddy Dangerfield, who played with him at Adelaide. And he said what Dangerfield had been, whatever the crowd said to Danger was like, you couldn't repeat it. It was so vulgar and just like shit.
Well, as if
that's why
as if
Danger
he-
kept walking and Bailey Smith gave him double bird.
As if he's going to do that
wasn't-
to someone going, Bailey, you suck.
Yeah, it wasn't
It's
just
not
use,
gonna be
you
like
use
that.
a losers. He's not going to fucking react.
It'd
like
be
it
a
was
proper
something-
one where you go, get fucked. Like,
Yeah.
you no matter what, you shouldn't be letting
And
it
Bailey
just-
will cop a fine and that, but they made a good point on that panel that maybe you should look at and find out what the fan had said.
Yeah.
And he should
100%.
get a bit of a fine too, not just Bailey.
Yeah.
Like, I get Bailey, they're role models, Harley Reid did it as well. You got these people looking up and kids, you don't want them to be seeing that sort of actions. But like,
Tell you what,
fuck, that you don't want the kids to hear what the crowd is saying too. Like, that shit's worse.
the fine will hurt the fucking patron more than it'll hurt the player.
Yeah,
That's 100%.
absolutely. Bailey Smith would wipe his ass with that out in Geelong.
Collingwood, they're up and about. Beat the Swans. The Swans could be gone.
They're staying in games close enough,
Yeah.
and they're making it a contest, but they can't finish.
What about the Moons?
The Moons.
They're undefeated.
Fucking
Are
killing
they
it.
undefeated?
Yeah, they're
Shouldn't
undefeated.
be.
They're 4 from 4.
That's right. They got handed one.
They did get handed one, but still, man. Someone said.
Have you seen the
before-
top two on the ladder?
Yeah, Queensland Fest.
Fuck's sake! It's the Lions and the Suns.
Oh.
It's
Where's this?
weird,
Where's
eh?
that in the league?
Oh, we just get AFL up here. That's what
Yeah.
someone was saying the other day. Penrith going. I said, the Crows are going all right, mate. They're my team.
Look at even top 3. You got GWS in third.
Yeah.
On Sydney team.
Yeah.
So Bah. is
How
on
much
top
can
AFL.
change in a week?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. A
Port
lot.
Port turn up for one game a year.
Yeah, oh,
and
yeah.
and fucking the Hawks go from first to fifth just like that.
Bang.
Yeah,
Bang.
what?
One
It's
loss.
such an even playing
We're
field
into
at the
fifth.
moment,
I was
yeah.
like, oh fuck.
And now yous went from premiership favourites to probably fucking paying
Where we should
50.
be.
Yeah.
Anyway, we deserved everything we got, and Port just were on fire. So take nothing away from them.
Yous had a
Well,
very,
did something just
very
click, you reckon,
shit
for them, and
first
they just
half.
seemed to just...
We were shit,
Yeah.
but everything clicked
Your
for them.
first half
The
was
footy
poor.
just went their way, and then every time Hawthorn got the ball, they fucked it up and turned it over, which is fine. It's all
I don't
good.
think it's alarming signs though. It's like, okay,
it's
Port
fine, mate.
Port showed up in Gather Round and then Hawthorn had their first slip up of the year. So be
Absolutely
it.
fine.
Do not
And
write
it
'em
just
off.
sucks that it happened there in front of their fans after what
Yeah.
happened last year. They're all doing
everyone
the fucking
talking about
playing
the
thing.
the rematch,
which
after
is fine.
Hinkley's shit.
They are a bunch of turncoats, though. Port fans, holy.
They're quick to
They-
turn.
That Kingy?
Yeah, he's not. He's all right. Turncoats. They're all behind Kenny now, going, "Oh, Hinkley, yeah, but
Yeah, because he got the last
Mate.
laugh against Ginnivan.
A fucking week ago, couple of weeks ago, they all just turned on him, wanted him gone. I've screenshotted this, boys, because this just blew me away. Right, Port Adelaide Football Club. It's a big sign. Must be where their training ground is or whatever at
Yeah.
the precinct at Alberton. I don't know. It might be their like the RSL. I don't know. There's a sign that someone's made, and it says "Sack Hinkley." In brackets, I made this before the game, but I didn't expect us to win. I take it back. Or something like
Jeez,
that.
so that's just admitting that they're a
Yeah,
turncoat.
look at it. Sack Hinkley. I made this before the game, but I didn't expect to win. Lol.
Well, get the whiteout out because I'll probably need it for fucking this week as well.
Just fucking turncoats. You'd
Jesus.
never see someone put that up.
And see,
as a
that,
Hawks fan.
imagine that gutless fuck too who has that sign. If that Hinkley bloke walked over to him, they'd be like, "Oh mate, it's just his luck."
Sad to see you go at the end of the year, mate.
Yeah. That's just classic.
So, look, we'll see him in September. Actually, probably won't.
I don't think they'll be there in
No.
September.
So
they'll be going
anyway,
straight to Parmi.
well done. Turned up for a week, or even actually they turned up for a half because they nearly blew the biggest lead
Yeah,
in AFL history.
that's true.
70-something points it was.
They held
And
you to 8 points in like the fucking halfway to the second quarter.
I
and they
think
were just
we got-
humping.
I think they got it to teens, like under 20. Hawthorn did. So,
Yeah, you did well to
or
actually.
it might have been just over 20.
That's not the most disgusting scoreline ever, but that first 2 quarters represented
was.
something very different.
Very disgusting.
Yeah.
Jeez, I was
You would have
stoked.
been
Anyway,
spewing.
we missed a couple of games. Carlton got a win.
Yeah, they're
They're flying.
finally got a win.
That game, like we mentioned at Norwood Oval, Bulldogs Lions. The Lions are just taking the piss now.
I don't get
Seriously.
it. Like, why every single game so far this year, they might not have been trailing at halftime, but the other team's been in the contest, and when they have been losing, they come out in the second half, and they're just a completely
49
different
points.
team.
They were down.
They don't need to
Again.
show up in the first half. They literally could just sit
does
in the
that
sheds
happen?
and just be like, we'll see you for the last 2 quarters, boys, and we're still going to fucking beat you. They're taking the piss.
Since that semi-final last year, where
Yes.
they've just obviously the grand final was different. They just decided, hey, we'll play for 4
Yep.
quarters today,
Against GWS, against Geelong.
Yeah.
They, like the comebacks that they had that was so remarkable.
and
they've
then
just
every
gone-
game this year, not every game, but a lot of starts this year have been woeful.
Yeah.
If they work out that the game starts at fucking 7:30, not 8:30, they'll
They'll beat teams by 100.
the comp's in big shit.
And Eric Hipwood turned into fucking prime Jonathan Brown like he does for 1 game of the year.
Yeah. And then primetime Saturday night, what an absolute belter. Melbourne versus Essendon.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Belter.
going to have to do something, the D's.
I feel for them.
I don't know
eh?
what's going on.
I
eh?
feel for them.
They are in big trouble.
Big dramas. The only
look-
thing that looked good about D's were their vintage, like the retro Guernsey they had on. Everything else was
I
pus.
didn't watch the game at all. It did
I
not
watched probably
interest
a
me.
quarter and I went off.
Well.
This sucks.
Yeah. Hopefully there was some good tacos at Track's house for
Yeah.
the recovery game on the Sunday night.
Yeah, at least he's got that going for him,
A few
eh?
smashed tacos. Richmond, that's what is supposed to happen to them all year.
Yep.
It was an anomaly in the first round. They played Carlton. And I didn't watch any of the St Kilda games, so can't
Neither,
comment
but-
on it. So
I said that St Kilda, they're, a few good wins under their belt.
I think
Everyone
they're in
getting
the 8 too.
excited. Knock, knock. Like, just go. Have you seen that chick on TikTok?
Yeah.
Ah, bro.
Holy.
I cannot stand it. And it's probably just been as a sour Geelong fan, but
you know what? One's even even better is the fucking Crows bloke. I don't know how many years ago it was, but he stands up in the middle of the crowd and tries to get a chant going. And it's everywhere we go. And about 3 people follow him in. And he just keeps screaming.
that's a fucking
does
sports
he?
day chant that
He
you do for
keeps
your house.
screaming at the top of his lungs. And I'm talking, maybe 6 or 7 joining.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
those 6 or 7 feel so bad for him, and that's why they're doing it.
And it's a full
Jeez.
section of the crowd.
Like, you'd have to
That
leave.
chick for St Kilda, they're like people actually join in with her and then start like chanting back, but it's just like
You'd
it's
have to
just
leave, wouldn't you?
cringe.
Imagine
Yeah.
singing it, looking around and sitting back down.
Another ripper is there must be like a family, or I don't know, they must be wherever they are having a drink before they go watch the Kangaroos play, and they're just around the table, just the 6 or 7 of them, and one of them starts filming. And they go, Kanga, Kanga, Kanga. And the rest of them look at the camera, roo, roo, roo.
Oh, man.
And it's all out of
Fuck
whack.
me.
That's another
There's-
beauty.
Every AFL club is starting to get their like one well-known fan. Like, do you remember? I don't know if you ever saw on TikTok. I think his name's Bevo or
We
something.
saw your cunt
It's like the
Oh,
sponsor.
Troy the cat man
up in the tree the
Yeah,
other day.
yeah. He
Is
was
that like the special guy, like for the club sort of thing?
Everyone's got
I
their,
don't
their
know.
bloke,
Like on the
yeah.
Spectrum one. Is that what we're talking about? They're like mascotty sort of special.
Yeah,
bloke.
well, ours is a bloke who's
This
Troy,
cunt was-
Troy the
had
cat
to be.
man. And he dressed. He's
Yeah.
for years done it.
So
and he dresses
exactly
up
what
as
I've
a
said,
cat,
yeah.
Posted a video of him sitting up in a tree going.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not coming down until Geelong win again. And then there's down and he's dancing in the street like, I'm back out of the tree. And it's
That is fucked.
it's fucked,
I
but
would
I just
not be able
laugh
to
and just
cop
go,
that.
that's my club. Dogs had
It's
that
funny though
Bevo
because
bloke.
everyone else goes, "Oh, see you, cunt."
Yeah.
Have fun up there, bro.
So yeah, go and watch Kanga. Watch the St Kilda chick.
I need to watch old mate,
Bellow out.
the Crows
And the
bloke.
Crows
I
bloke.
need to watch the Crows bloke. Oh,
The doggies
spat
bloke, Bevo, whatever his name is a doggies, bark, bark, bark.
Oh yeah, but he takes the piss.
You reckon?
Oh, he's got it.
No,
He can't be
He
on
does
shit.
it for the Hurricanes as well.
Yeah, I know.
and he's-
That's why I reckon
yeah.
he takes the piss.
Fuck.
Oh, Bev. Yeah. He has to take
You
the
should
piss.
start one to be the Hawthorns mascot.
Oh,
mate.
yeah. Fucking Troy the Catman be in trouble.
When I say
Give him a run
poo,
for
you
it.
say we. Poo.
Fuck.
Fucking hell.
Did I see something where the D's were calling a fucking board meeting, or was that
Are
just
they?
Dan Garinge just taking the piss?
Oh, you just never know.
He's
with
fucking
that
funny
bloke.
as.
Oh,
Fuck, it's good.
He's actually got it nailed, believe
Yeah.
it or not, the content
Oh,
wise, because
He's great.
he obviously does shit on purpose with Carlton to like
Yeah.
get fucking way more views, and then it almost doesn't matter if they win or lose, because if they lose, he gets heaps of fucking comments and
It
shit
is.
on his
Carlton
thing.
losing
It's
has probably been the
perfect.
best
Yeah.
thing for the show.
I know.
This year.
And
Yeah.
taking the piss
We-
out of yourselves to go.
Yeah.
Last year we were like, oh, if we lose to North, one of us has got to sing the song. This cunt's out here dyeing his hair like Rory Lobb and saying if West Coast had have won, he would have got Harley Reid tattooed on his
Tattooed, yeah.
bicep.
That's confidence.
That's what he's fucking throwing out there for views, and we're just prepared to sing a North song.
Yeah, the first one was the best, where he changed his name, not
Richmond.
officially, but changed his name to Richmond Gorge.
Yeah, well, he's doing interviews with Seven and shit, and they're calling him Little Richie.
Yeah, he put up a thing the day after they lost. Hey, g'day, hey, your old pal Richmond here.
He's
fucking
great for
It goes well.
AFL media because it's been such a serious sort of like. There hasn't been anyone who's as like satire like that and
Nah.
just good for AFL media in a while.
And he gives it to the
And
other
he gives it, yeah.
media
And he's
people.
played the sport. He has played for Carlton. He's played for Gold Coast, so he actually knows the fucking game.
Yeah, not
So
like us.
It's quite refreshing. Yeah, I've played 2 seasons for the Mud Crabs. I know fuck all.
Yeah, so I didn't have too much off-field stuff other than, look, the D's need to do something.
Yeah, and Baz double
And
flipping.
that was awesome.
And I think that was well within his right.
Like, I didn't want to like it, but I did.
Yeah, that's a lot coming from you too, being Geelong and Bailey Smith.
Yeah. Right. I'm looking forward to Easter Monday, though, Jace. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that's going to be
Traditional
always
clash.
a
You know,
great
it's,
game.
it's been a lot of years since both sides were not. Are we both?
I think we're both
flying.
back.
We're not both flying.
We
but
kind
we're
of we
both-
never really left.
No,
You
I
did
just
for a
mean
bit,
at this point in the season.
Yeah.
We're what 4-1,
and we've lost 2, I think.
3 and yeah.
3 and 2, yeah.
So-
But we're both top 8 teams. There's both a bit to play for. Like to put it in context of how not the rivalry has died off, but when we played yous at Cardinia Park last year, that's the first time since like 2005 or something because we always just play each other at the G.
Yeah, there you
that
go,
won't
yeah.
happen again now because we'll always play each other at the G and get the most fans we can in.
Yep.
So there's every
Yeah,
chance.
there was actually. There was a couple of years there where they weren't getting. Oh, Easter Monday they still
That's
got
always at the
60
G,
or
yeah.
70, but
I
this
think that's
one,
classed as your home game too.
this one will be surely it'll be 80.
This will be fucking prime.
Huge.
2 teams playing good footy. Yous will be fired up after a loss.
Yeah.
We'll be fired up after going away to Adelaide and getting a great win. Like it's gonna be a fucking belter. I love just being hungover as fuck on the Monday and sitting there going, you know what? I still will get to
Still
watch
got a game of footy to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a belter of a weekend. I might actually go. I've never been to this line crossing thing on the Sunday
Do
too
it.
at Yachty's.
I've done it 2 years in a row now, and it's the best night in Gladstone.
I finish Sunday morning, work,
Beautiful.
go home, quick snooze, straight to Yachty's.
There's not
that's
many great
perfect.
nights in Gladstone because all it is usually Bowies. But this one is just a big tent and the live music's prime and
Yeah,
everyone's
that's
just
what I've
having
heard.
such a belt.
And I've
of a
never
time,
been,
man.
so I'm going to
Easter
go.
is the best weekend in
Who
Gladstone.
are we tipping here? Because this is the. Oh no, it's not. Sorry, Brisbane Collingwood. This will be a cracking game.
I'm going
Rematch of 2
Collingwood.
years ago.
I don't mind that.
I just think 85% here tipping Lions, and I'm like, is it that?
I'm not going to do it.
lopsided?
I
but-
can completely tell you how the whole match is going to go if you want.
Yeah, do it.
Collingwood will be up by 32 at half time, and then Lions will come back and win by 12.
Right.
Win by 6 goals or
Yep.
12?
12 points.
12 points.
There you
Right.
go.
Not 6 goals.
Righto. Yeah, you're probably spot on. I just think if surely the Lions go, hey, let's work on our starts, guys.
Why doesn't Fagan just say what he says at halftime
Yeah.
before the game?
Wow. 20% of people on ESPN tipping
Yeah.
North.
Fucking hell.
Surely Carlton at $1.40 with Neds is value
I
out
reckon
the hole.
like 15% of those North tips are Carlton fans.
Yeah, just out of spite.
Yeah.
I'm going to tip Carlton.
Same.
Me too.
I think they've got a win under their belt now. They're not a complete bogey
Oh,
team.
here we go. The West Coast have got to win a game eventually. And this could be it
You reckon?
against the Dons.
It's pretty long.
Because they are terrible.
So Dons beat Port and then they had a week off.
Did they? They
Yeah.
did too. I know, and I wish. Yeah,
And then they- 'cause we
now
both-
you don't know because Port come out and played well,
Yeah.
so you can't.
Well, we
yeah.
tipped the Dons, remember? We're like, gut feeling, yeah, let's just do it.
That's right. The
And
one,
so-
the one I would have got for that
yeah.
week.
Essendon, I reckon, Essendon could definitely win here. They'll win a few good games, get in top 8 for a few
They
weeks.
should win
And
it.
then they'll just shit the bed.
I just reckon West Coast might be up and about for once.
I'm going Essendon.
Me
I'm
too,
going to tip
me
the
too.
Coast.
Ah, yeah.
Yep.
Fucking
That's
hell.
a Friday night game.
The longie.
Wow.
They do not get. When's the last time West Coast had a Friday prime time?
That means it'll
at
be
home.
10 past 4.
them?
That'll start over there.
Yeah, that'll be a huge crowd. Everyone's still at fucking work.
Nah, they'll take it off. Right, now this will be the worst crowd you have ever seen at the MCG. I'm calling it now.
Really?
Yep.
Less than 10,000?
Because it's Freo, so it's a WA team. No one's going to fucking travel.
Fuck all will travel, yeah.
And no one will go for the D's.
There'll be more
How
Freo
can they
than
go?
Ds.
They're fucking 0-5.
What's the point?
Oh,
Is there races at Flemington and Caulfield this weekend?
yeah, they would be, yeah.
Because that's where all the RM Williams boots are going to be. They will not be going to the G.
Mate, so
Saturday.
didn't they get like 7 for the GWS game?
Yeah, that was. Oh, I think it was a bit more than that. I think it was like 20 odd.
No,
to
it
that.
was not.
No, it's a few weeks after you're talking about it had the like
Suns, maybe.
stupidly, yeah, Suns game.
Sorry.
That had the disgustingly low because they knew they were shit by this point.
Well, this will be worse.
yeah, and Freo are going to hump them, and there'll be 4 people there.
Yeah, I'm going to go Freo.
And it's
Wow.
Sharks misses sitting in the crowd having a prime lunch.
POV. I am actually excited for that game to start so I can see the crowd number.
Yeah, that's all I want to check
all
in.
I
I
wanna
want to
check.
see who's at the G, and then I'm turning it straight back off.
Oh, righto. Here we go. Adelaide Oval. Saturday Ave.
GWS had just stayed an extra week in Adelaide.
Possibly. I think, fuck, who did that?
St Kilda.
St Kilda
Because Jack
did it.
Higgins
Yeah,
like, I don't
yeah,
really
yeah.
like Adelaide. And then he
Yep.
had, was like, come out. He's like, oh, no, I don't mind it, like backtracking straight away.
Yeah, so I'd say they would have. So it might not be that long. Oh,
Gee, but did Adelaide bounce back or...
GWS are good.
I fucking really rate GWS.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they had 2 horrid losses, like comeback losses in
The
finals
boys
last
are
year.
stinging.
Otherwise-
We got grubbed, and then we fucking lost in a good game.
That was a good
They're
game.
coming back.
I'm going to tip them,
Yeah.
Adelaide.
Fuck 'em,
Oh, I'm going to go GWS.
Yeah,
I think they're
get
too
fucked,
good.
Joe.
What's
Fuck
going
the
on? What's going on with the Moon's schedule? Who's set this up?
So
for
I,
success?
someone said before
Yeah.
the season starts, if Gold Coast is it every chance that they go 6-0 to start the year, and then that's kind of hard to miss out in the finals from there.
Wow.
So are they going to? They haven't played
Fucking
finals before, have they?
Ask Essendon.
Yeah, true, but they don't have that dark history.
Anyway, Moons to be 5-0
Absolutely, I think
against
they will.
Richmond at Marvel. Oh, here we go. God, I'd love to see Sydney just absolutely smash these cunts.
They will.
I'm
I think
gonna-
they will.
I'm
Sydney is
tipping
going to
the
get a win
Swans.
under
Yeah,
their
I'm
belt
going
because they're not
Swans too.
that bad. Port have just won a game,
tipping
so
them.
they are going to be really bad.
God, I hope they flog them.
That's prelim rematch, isn't it?
This is a good game. Dogs St Kilda.
I'm going to back Dogs. I think Dogs, even in their losses, have still been quite valiant.
Yeah.
Great effort from them, and they're still not full strength yet. So there's only so much liver.
They have
and
to. They lost
Sam
to Collingwood
Darcy.
by a kick.
Yeah, Carlton. They
Played the
beat,
Lions.
and then Lions. That was tough. They've done all right.
I'll tip them too.
I
And
think-
then
Yeah, I'm
obviously
Dogs.
we'll be split here, Jace.
Yeah,
Great
it's very
game of
evenly
footy.
matched. in
It
the
is your
tipping
your
and
home game.
Cats
Oh,
beat us
true.
last week, so
There we
I'm
go.
with the Hawks.
With the
Poos
Poos
and
and-
Wees. This could go anyway. But obviously, I'm going to tip the Cats.
It's going to be a good game of footy.
I'm
Can't
surprised.
wait.
If we lost last week and you guys won, you would be $1.50 and we would be fucking $3.
Yeah.
3:20 p.m. too. That's just a good time to just sit back.
It's
Perfect.
Such a good fix. I'm love that it's
Make the most
become
of the arve.
a tradition now
Yeah.
to have it on Easter Monday.
Yeah. Righto, cool. Looking forward to the round. I can't wait for the Dogs game Friday night, just because I think they'll get a big crowd in the NRL. That is.
That would be great.
Yeah, obviously the Brisbane game, and then Easter Monday is going to be a belter. Lions Collingwood too. Looking forward to watch that.
Oh, with the Easter Monday thing, so there's a Monday NRL game as well. Do you think Volandis purposely put those two games in Perth and one in Darwin on the same weekend as Gather Round to try and
I think
offset
so.
it?
I think they've done it. They've always done it in the past.
He seems
but
to do that with his racing.
I don't know if it was
stuff.
on the exact same weekend, but I thought the same thing.
Didn't you send something through
yeah.
about that?
Well, I just thought I was like, if he's doing this to like capitalise on Perth while they're gone, but thought, you know what, I'm going to do it at 1 p.m. for Perth and then 3 p.m. because that means that viewership will still be good over in the East Coast.
Yeah.
It's like if you're doing it just purely to promote and use that chance while you're in Perth, probably not the best time slots.
Yeah, you can't. You have to start it at like 4 or 5 though. You can't have a 7 p.m. start in Perth.
Nah.
Like, but
West Coast-
but 1 o'clock's too early.
Yeah.
Like
I
that
fucking
was
oath.
kickoff time.
Yeah.
Just so they could do the 3 o'clock start here. Yeah.
It was like a bright idea, but poorly executed, I think.
Old Poiter. Okay, well, let's move on to a bit of other sport.
Yeah.
Obviously, Monday's news, was just completely dominated by golf.
Rory
Rory
McIlroy.
McIlroy wins the Masters. Just a decade of emotion came out of the bloke after he won. He's been getting, especially in this new world in the last 10 years where social media has just gone on an upward spiral. The amount of shit that bloke has to go through online when he misses a few putts and doesn't win a tournament, and he probably should have.
Easily the most criticised player in the sport over the last
By
10
a street
years.
because he won those first 4 so quick when he was
And everyone was going bang.
early
best since Tiger.
20s.
Yeah.
And he blew a Masters lead in 2011. I think he had 4-shot lead on the last day at
Blue
some
one Angel
point.
Cabrera, yeah.
So it was always, you want to get the 4. Not many people have got all of them, all the 4. There's only a very select
Jack
few
Nicklaus,
who've got all the
Tiger,
4.
Gary Player, the
Ben Hogan.
massive names in golf.
So it's always been for 10, 12 years now, every Masters, it's all about him getting it so he can complete the Grand Slam, they call it. And it's just the pressure on that bloke would have just been, oh, man.
Well, when he
there's no
sunk
way.
that last putt, you see it.
Oh, for the next hour you
Yeah.
saw it.
You
Because
could
he
tell
was
that
just-
wasn't just everything about it, him getting the green jacket on him and him just being that relief literally on his shoulders. You're just you can tell, and it's no secret, the pressure that's been on him. It's not like he's coming out and going, this is so special to me and not many people know this. It's it's been in the
Everyone
spotlight
knew.
for 10 years that every single Masters people go, is this Rory's year to complete it? It's not, it's never, no one says, is this Jordan Spieth's year? Or I think Brooks Koepka might be up for a Grand Slam as well.
I think Spieth won one. He's thrown one away, but he won.
Yeah, sorry,
one the
not
year
with
before.
not with Masters, but he hasn't completed the Grand
Oh
Slam.
yeah, sorry.
So I don't know what he hasn't won, whether it's US or PGA, but that's not talked about. It's only ever been about Rory getting his Grand Slam.
And then the poor prick, when the whole live golf thing happened, he just stood out on that plank all by himself and just
took so much shit.
back to the PGA till the day he dies. And
it's paid off well though.
it has,
because everyone,
but it hasn't because now he's sort of divided people, whereas everyone was with him. No one really didn't like him. But now all these people that want to go and watch the IPL of golf, just because there's fucking cool tunes playing.
Yeah, you can pick their own song with the T-box, brah.
Yeah, well, Lukey upped us about not covering
Which
that.
it is a cool event to go to, but it's not the fucking
I'd go to Live
Masters.
Adelaide and that's it.
Yeah.
You don't go, fuck yeah, I want to travel to Singapore for Live this weekend, boys. That'd be unreal.
No, if you blokes just did that.
Oh, true. There you go. Sorry, boys.
Yeah, fuck them. But anyway, whatever. The point is, he stood out there. Now he's divided the golf world because now fucking everyone loves Bryson because he's a YouTube star and there's all these YouTube golfers.
Well, that fucking Sunday pairing couldn't have been any more set up like
yeah, it was like the
biblically,
US Open, same sort of thing.
because it was pretty much the face of Live, the face of PGA, and then after what happened at Pinehurst last year, everyone was going like, "Oh, here we go," and then Bryson just had a complete stinker.
But the start was not.
Yeah,
Rory
no,
lost the lead straight away.
Yeah, but
2 holes in, he was a shot down because he doubled the first, and I
Yeah.
was just like, "Oh shit, he's actually going to blow it."
many times I thought
not
he was gonna
many
blow it, man.
times did people on that back 9. They reckon that it's just the pressure's insane. Like
Oh.
the whole
last 9, mate. You know, let her refer to as back 9.
sorry,
before
the
Augusta.
second 9.
Yeah, that's better.
The second of 18 that you play after the front.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
There's so many chances to get birdies because the par 5s are short and you can get on in 2, but just the pressure is just insane. And
Water, a lot of water on that back 9.
And he tried his hardest to lose. Fuck, he tried
Off the
hard to
tee, he
lose.
fucking did. That's for sure.
But the best part was for me is that I watched the whole thing. I got up at
Yep,
like half
same.
4, watched the whole fucking thing. It was unreal. I couldn't watch at the end. I was watching through me fucking fingers.
It had the heart
But
rate up.
he, he just tried so hard to lose, and not many people can go that bad and then pick themselves back up again.
With a couple of
Like, you've
fucking
seen-
ripping shots.
So many years you've seen people with a lead, and as soon as
Himself.
as soon
like-
as they go double bogey and they sort of lose the lead, you can't pick back up. Like, your head is that fucked that you can't pick yourself back up. But
Yeah.
he did it like 3 times.
Yeah. I thought
Oh,
after
it
one
was-
shot, he's like, that shot on 13, I was like, he's done.
He's gone.
And
he
then-
was gone.
Poor shot on 15, which is like, was always his chance to make up a few strokes and go for eagle. And then that shot on hole 15,
That was the
to
best
be able
shot.
to produce that with the tree in your face, water at the front, he had double bogeyed that hole already that weekend, and he fucking hits the most. That is the best shot I think I've seen in my time watching golf.
That was
when
a
you
great
look
shot.
at context and the way he come back, and that just put him right back in the mix of it.
Yeah.
That is the fucking wildest shot I've
Yeah,
ever
that
seen.
was pretty
Oh.
hectic.
The crowd was absolutely rooting for him
It sets
too.
up for him because he's always drawn it.
Yeah.
So he just roped it around, and it was like, you saw the tracer.
205 yards, 7
You
iron.
saw the tracer, and you're like, oh, fuck me, that's in the piss.
Yeah.
It just carries, and it was just perfect.
So
Oh,
nice to watch, man.
And then to miss the putt on 18, I just went, okay, he's definitely lost now. Like, he will not go to the playoff in the right headspace, and then just absolutely murdered that drive
God, didn't
on the
he?
first
Then
playoff
dribbles
hole.
down the hill on the green, just perfect.
Yeah,
That
and I
went
just
shot
went,
in.
holy fuck. How's he keep picking himself up here?
Yeah,
Like,
at least 3 or 4 times I had written him off and just gone, I've seen this
Oh.
too much. Like, you're thinking he's losing his head. But his mental game is probably what fucking helped him there.
I don't
It was like
think,
he'd
I
be,
reckon it was the opposite.
You reckon?
He should have won by like 4 shots.
Usually he's proper like fucking in a deep hole and you can see
Yeah.
it. And he just starts snacking on shit and having a drink out of his
he
Yeti.
was still doing that.
He was still snacking and having the Yeti, and I was like, okay, is he? Anytime he is getting angry now, is he just eating food?
He
What it
definitely was
fucking
still
worked.
doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I just couldn't believe he kept coming back. It was almost would have been more satisfying for him maybe to like do that and
Then
still
win by
win.
5 straight.
Mate,
Nah.
honestly, I think just having the jacket for him, he wouldn't give a fuck
Oh.
now, surely, on how it happened.
Yeah, who
it's
cares?
just
yeah,
happened.
I know.
Him saying himself that first thing when he got in the interview after, and he just went, okay, I've actually got a question. What are you all going to talk about next year now?
Yeah.
Because every year it's always about me, can Rory do it? And all the old, like the previous champions always kind of reside with Rory because he's their PGA poster boy.
Yeah.
And now it's just like he is just freed up of everything that anyone can ever say about his golf career. And it's like, does he go to a completely new level now? Does he go, I don't give a fuck anymore? He's such a hard worker.
I feel bad for fucking Justin Rose though.
That's
Poor
like,
cunt.
is that his second or third time being
So
in the playoff in the
he's
Masters?
come second a few times. The last playoff was 2017, and he was in that
With
and
Sergio
he
Garcia,
lost.
yeah.
He has led the most rounds ever at the Masters without winning. So after the round,
And
if
he
you know
had
what I
10
mean.
birdies on Sunday as well.
Oh.
10 birdies.
He
and
also
still
was
couldn't fucking
runner-up
win.
at the last major last year, the Open.
Open,
He
yeah.
come runner-up at that.
He's still such a class act, man.
Yeah, he would have been stoked for
Absolutely,
Rory
yeah.
to win.
Fucking oath.
Which
He'll,
is
that right there, like Justin Rose will be in that Ryder Cup team fucking ever now. There's no doubt about
He's
that.
44, the old bastard.
He's still got it, doesn't he?
So, yeah, I felt a bit for him. I was like, fuck, man, if it was anyone else in this playoff, I'd be rooting for you. But I just
Quite
wasn't.
literally, yeah. It's like, I need Rory to win this.
I need it for him because the backlash of blowing a
Would've
four-shot
been
lead would have just been,
crazy.
oh, man.
Hope he's all got on at 750 too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we copped a bit of... Well, you boys don't know nothing.
I don't know why
and then I'll talk to you in the next segment too about that.
I don't know why yous were copping that because it was the most obvious pick. Not to win, but I
It
just
usually
mean like...
is. Like, Rory's always one that you look
Yous
at.
all
but,
know who it is.
But something about this year...
I'm like, oh fuck, sorry.
Yeah.
Like what?
Everyone,
Fuck
I
it.
think everyone and most golf fans can agree that this year it just felt different for Rory.
Before everyone
Wasn't
goes...
like 2 or 3 years ago when Scotty was playing absolutely insane. It was like Rory coming off the players and just playing consistently good golf. You were just like, this is his best chance.
Before
in 10
everyone
years.
says, oh, if it was that obvious, I didn't mean obvious to fucking bet on. I just mean him, the face of the PGA. Everyone knows who it is.
Yeah.
For someone like me who knows no
Heaps
cunt.
of people are going to say him. So anyway.
But even like I watch a lot of golf and I know a lot of players and I still was like, Tom's pick is as good as mine because it's Rory, man. What do you expect?
Yeah, well, he did not. He's the first person ever. Nobody had ever won after having 4 double bogeys in the week.
There you go.
That just proves how many times he had to come back.
Oh, and he had 2 on the. He played so well all week.
He really did.
That first day, he was 4 under with 4 holes to play, and he ended up even because he had 2 doubles. And you just go, oh fuck, he might have just blown it on the first day, but then he come out and shot 6 under, 6 under.
Yeah, those
And it
back
was
to back
like,
600
holy
rounds.
It's his to lose now, and then he tried.
Oh.
He made it tough. Well, he shot 1 over for the whole of Sunday,
Fuck.
didn't he?
It was hard to watch, but it was awesome.
That
at
was
the
just
same
the
time.
absolute beauty of the Masters. That's like the best one I've seen yet in my short time watching. But everything about that just had such an unreal feel to it.
Well, saying to Groper, I was watching I didn't get to watch it all, but was watching the KO minis and gives you a rundown of how it sort of unfolded. And that's what I was saying. How good's your sport, though? Like, that is a classic example of any sport can be entertaining at the right level and the right shit going down. You know? Like, fucking, it was good.
They don't price gouge on the food and piss. It's always been the same price. So you go there and get a fucking
Sanger, pimento
Sanger,
cheese,
and it's
Sanger.
$1.50, or a can of something's $2 and shit like that. It's always the same price.
Yeah.
No phones, so you're not allowed phones in there. Which
You
is
notice the
just
crowd, everyone is just
unreal,
watching, and everyone's
because
so loud.
no one has that footage. There's not 15 fucking different footages of Rory sinking the winning putt.
Yeah.
It's just the one.
Yeah.
And
Everyone's
everyone in
watching.
the crowd is watching.
Man, do you know what? I'd love if they did that for some music festivals.
Yeah.
Because like,
Well, you can't- yeah.
I just mean it's a similar thing. You can't use the cunt anyway because there's too many people there. and I've been a victim of filming shit before too. I've never gone and watched it again.
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
go,
yeah,
you're better
yeah.
off just
Yeah, I
fucking
agree.
standing there and
Yeah.
going, this is
It's
sick.
just social media influence. Everyone's like, if I don't post this, then I was never there. So
No,
everyone-
but
yeah.
I really
God,
like that,
I hate
man.
it.
I
I
really
love
like
everything
that.
that's traditional.
So I
about
don't know how
Masters.
you police it, but no one seems to ever have them out.
Well,
So-
they'd police
They just
it by
don't-
people
don't let 'em
obviously
in.
wouldn't be like,
Pretty
because
sure
you
they
get
check
every-
pockets
Mr.
and
Gilmore's
bags
fault.
and that, and
You
they're
get
like, there's
every wanker going, oh, what if there's an emergency?
They got the little
Well,
payphone
you'll
things.
find
there.
out when you fucking leave.
The coolest part about that is that they have the fucking scoreboard
Yeah.
for like at certain parts of the hole, like each hole, and then on 18, because they don't know, they're not checking an app about what's happening 2 holes earlier.
Yeah.
They look up at the scoreboard and they see it flick over and like, hold on a second, and it's the old fucking numbers that get flipped
The
over.
numbers go in
And
and
they're like,
there's a
oh,
roar.
and you hear roars and
see,
shit.
mate, but bro, people that have their phones, they just leave them in their fucking pocket.
I don't know
Yeah,
if they
I
do.
know, they'd have to.
Yeah,
You
but
can't
it's good.
take someone's phone off.
But I like that though. How it's fucking like that.
Yeah.
It's something
right.
that Masters, that's like one of the only things in sport that has never changed and just never will.
And look, as much as I want to say that I like the Open more, just because it's not in America, I think there's just something about the Masters. And it's really annoying.
Yeah, everyone can just agree that it's just so.
It's only
fucking
because
good.
you know all the holes.
Yeah.
Like it's the same course every time. You know every hole on the back nine. You can just know.
Yeah,
what,
you can.
what it
You
is.
know how certain people have played it. You know the iconic shots you've
Yeah.
seen.
So,
So good.
anyway.
I actually had a thought.
The
just a
Open's better, though.
Hypothetical for you. You know they have the champions dinner. The defending champion on that Monday night puts on a menu for everyone.
Yeah.
And usually each player's trying to, give something that's traditional to their country. Like Scotty does something Texas related.
Oh, yeah.
Hideki did Japanese style food. If your boys, even just your main course, you want to represent something you love and that Aussies love, what are you putting on?
Oh fuck.
Because
Fucking 20 dogs eyes.
Parmi.
Wait, that's a good
going to
call, though.
Parmi. My main meal
But I
is
don't
chicken
think
Parmis.
I don't think that's ours.
It's not, but
What
like
about
Yanks
just
have
steak,
chicken.
chips, and veggies? Or steak, chips,
Yanks
and
have
salad?
well, I think Adam Scott did something like that. He did a certain style of steak, but
Yeah, I'd probably do a steak.
the chicken parm.
But
is
they
American,
always
but-
have fucking about 3 different options.
Yeah,
I saw
they
the
give a
one this
fish
year.
and they do like a beef usually.
That's a
Yeah, I'd
fucking
have to do
good
a-
call.
I'd
That's a
have-
good call, though, Chase.
I'd have
That's
to do
hard.
fish.
What's your meal? That dessert? I'm going lamingtons.
Snag on bread.
Yeah. We've got Bunnings snags. We've got 4 and 20 dog's eyes.
That's
and
right.
then a bit of pavlova afterwards.
You'd have to go, I reckon. No, being serious, all that as well. But you'd go like a red emperor or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a really good reef fish.
Something
from
that you
here.
can get from here.
Parmi,
Yeah.
because you go to 2. I'd do Parmi and then some deadly fish off the coast.
And if
Yeah.
some cunt represents us with and then called it a Parma, I'd
Yeah.
fucking call them like
Yep.
it'd be
Oh,
like
no.
Prunella riots.
Don't start this. Because this is a genuine 50-50 argument. This.
They can all get
well, it's just
fucked.
Victorians. It's just
a Parmi.
Victorians that say Parma.
Yeah, pull your heads in. And then that's a lot of our crowd too, all the AFL mob.
Oh,
Fucking
yeah.
fuck off.
It's
So
just
basically,
you
Tom
say
is
it-
right
yes.
and you are wrong.
That's right.
Just say
It's a
whatever you
Parmi.
fucking want.
There's no A in Parmigiana. Shut up.
Is there not?
No, there's not, Ryan. No. No, there is. No, don't.
There's only 3 of the guys.
So what I was trying to say, that's great. What I'm trying to say is so where it goes Parmi, right? Like Parmigiana sounds like there'd be an A after the M, but it's an I.
Yeah, I know that.
So
Parmigiana,
I
not
fucked up what I was saying there. But what I was trying to say is that is
I
not
get-
an
yeah.
A where they're
This
so
is
shortening
like-
the word.
Mate.
Where's the A come from after the M? That's
I'm
what
on
I'm
your
saying.
side here because this is the same as the only team with Melbourne in their name.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm with you, Joe.
Oh,
But
let's go.
that is great.
Entree, you might even
And
do
it
some
just-
party pies
And
too.
it just
actually.
clicked.
Because yeah, that's all I can go to is you shorten it and you go, where's the fucking A after the M?
Right. This is going to be a 2-hour, I reckon. Because we still haven't got to
Well,
the
I'm
main,
having a great time. So I
haven't got to the main event for the weekend. The fucking, the Volk boys.
Oh,
The
mate.
greatest man in
So-
this nation.
I don't know if you want to talk about any fights before it.
Oh, we don't have to.
I
It's
didn't.
straight.
I didn't watch any
Mate,
except for
Two-
Pimblett.
all I want to say is it was great seeing Bryce Mitchell fucking unconscious. He must
yeah?
have just
Yeah.
dipped in to say good day to the old man and come back. But yeah, God's one fight down. He normally always trains him to win, but he's
Yeah,
obviously
true.
fucked up whatever he did with Bryce.
It's in his plan.
Yep. So God's plan there. He just got fucking.
I don't think
submitted.
Rice is going up to visit anyone either. I think he's going down.
Yeah,
Probably.
surely.
But anyway, Bryce Mitchell, that Jean Silva man was fucking very impressive. Him and 3 other lads, the fight nerds from Brazil, they call themselves, and they're like 19-0 together in the fucking UFC.
They chuck the glasses
So
on
there's,
after.
Jean Silva, Mauricio Ruffy, Carlos Prates, and what's that? How do you
Fuck,
say
why
our
do
mate's
I have to
name?
do it? Yao? Chow?
Yeah. Anyway, there's 4 of
Righto.
them, and they're really making some noise and they've all got real fun fighting styles
They
as
don't
well.
sniff
They're not
jocks.
sniffers. So he was just very impressive. Like he was coming forward, he was talking, he seemed calm but aggressive, and looked really good against Bryce Mitchell. So. Look, like I honestly reckon he's probably a fight or 2 off going for the title, sort of thing. Silva, and then Rodriguez put on a good performance against Pitbull. Man, he'd be fucking hard to fight.
Is that his nickname?
Yeah.
No.
Nah.
No, I was calling him nah.
Pitbull.
Yeah.
No, that's his last name. But I
Right.
want to know if he changed it to Pitbull
Yeah.
or not. But I
Yeah,
don't
because
know.
like remember Korean Zombie had like Korean Zombie.
They just used
as
to
his
call
name.
him that
Yeah.
because they couldn't call him by
That's
his
why I
real
was
name.
like, is this cunt actually think he's Mr. Worldwide or? Is
Yeah,
it-
I don't know. I'm not
Anyway.
sure. But anyway, yeah, Rodriguez did really well. Beat him convincingly in a decision. And he was calling for sort of a title fight with Volk after. And I'm going, nah.
Nah, yeah.
Nah, yeah, nah.
Yeah, not
Nah, yeah,
again,
nah.
mate.
Yeah, nah.
Not yet, yeah, nah. You sort of have to go and fight a few. Pimlet, fuck me, man. He was impressive.
That was
He's-
very impressive
How
performance.
little is Chandler?
Yeah, he's just a nugget, isn't he?
fucking Bill
He's
like
a
I just
nugget.
kept,
house.
as soon as they stood there, I went, fuck me. Pimlet is huge compared to him. But anyway.
All Chandler really had to offer was a fucking damaging nut kick.
Oh,
The rules around the tab
Oh, man.
when he did that.
That was
Every
like
single
he should have got a
bloke.
point deducted, man. That was just
I
a
don't know.
front kick to the fucking sack.
Yeah,
of
It
his
was
heart.
so perfectly orchestrated to hit his plums.
Pimlet come in for the leg kick at the perfect timing. He was trying to kick him in the sternum.
Oh wow,
Fuck.
that
But he
was
just
the
can't-
cleanest
yeah.
sack kick
Oh,
I've
I
ever
heard
seen, dude.
every single man in the world watching that fight go, oh, as the
yeah.
replay went around because you just felt it.
So,
Oh,
stupid me thought, looking at the Ned's app on Sunday afternoon, I
Chandler
thought,
was value.
no, I thought both of them to win via points. Chandler was $8.25, Pimlet was $9. And I went, I'm going to bet on both of those.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then halfway through the second, when Pimlet started to dominate, I'm like, righto, he probably... Oh, the first round was 50-50.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, I don't know who won that. He needs to win this one. And then he's won it, and I've gone, fuck, there's 5 little slots up
Stripes.
there.
Yeah.
And I went, is this a 5-rounder? Oh!
Man, I forgot too.
Oh, I thought it was a 3-round
I forgot
fight.
too. I think DC actually said, "Oh, this is a 5-round fight, like in the middle of round 3, sort of thing."
Yep.
But
I was pissed because I was like, how is this $9 for
I fucking know
points?
something that no one else
You can't
does.
choke Chandler out. Not even fucking
Oliveira.
Yeah.
Oliveira choked him out. This is definitely going to be points.
I figured out punting.
Man,
But mate,
it's-
how impressive was Paddy Pimlet though?
It was good.
Like he was just fucking good.
Just
so,
worked him down,
and then
just
like obviously
dominated.
he wants someone in the top 5 now. Fuck, did you hear his post?
So
thing?
funny.
So good, mate.
Fuck, he's funny.
I love that. Like it's like us calling someone a pelican. No one really understands it, but he goes, "You fucking gang of mushrooms."
Yeah.
Or your
Your
helmet.
helmet.
Yeah. I just
The
think
helmet.
I just think it's great. Like it's great lit.
Having a scouse.
Poms, especially the Scousers, but the Poms have just got great.
Oh, so I love everything about him mixing it with these other cunts.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Did you
and
see him after Rogan? And they were doing their like post thing.
Yeah.
Everyone was gone out of the arena, and yeah, fucking. I think it was DC trying to say like, "Who? What? The helmet?"
Yanks just don't
And then he was
understand
like,
that shit.
do you know,
eh?
Rogan was like a bell end.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
say, it's, yeah,
Yeah,
Just
but yeah,
don't
it was
get it.
fucking, it was good. And I'm like we were sort of talking about last week's show. It was better for the sport and all the spectators if Pimlet won in the stage of his career.
100%.
So
Yep.
it's going to be great to see him getting thrown amongst those top 5 who have
I
all
wonder who
fought
he
each
does
other.
fight now.
Well,
Like,
he was
surely
saying-
not Charles because he's done enough to earn another title
Yeah,
shot.
I
I think.
I feel like
But
he
then
fights
Ilya
Charles.
is in this division now, and he's probably going to get a title
Dude,
shot.
and how good's Ilya and him? Like clashing now because Ilya's moved up to their thing. They've
Yeah.
had that big beef at the press conference. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
who knows? But anyway, good on Paddy Pimlet. And then Volk, fuck, it was good to see him back.
Yeah,
I
man.
shit me
So
pants
good.
at the end of round 2 when he just got dropped.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But his eyes weren't gone and that. Like you could tell he just got hit with a good shot.
Well,
and he was
apparently,
still
an
there.
eye was gone.
Well,
whole
he
eye
fucking
lost
scraped.
vision, yeah.
The fist literally scraped the eyeball.
That's
What's the
fucked.
odds of that?
Yeah.
In round 4.
Couldn't see anything out of it.
And still outstruck him in round 4.
Yeah.
By the way, on the back foot. I think whoever give Diego Lopez 2 rounds.
48,
pull your
47.
head
It
in.
was like probably
Because
not
like
convincing
Volk
enough.
had the best game plan, I reckon. He had to exchange with Lopez. You can't just run backwards the whole time. But he'd come in land a few, and fuck back off out of it. You know,
because you
and
could
it
see
was working
when
so
Volk
well.
got in there too long, and they both would. Because as soon
that
as
made me nervous.
as soon as Lopez got hit a couple of times, Lopez would just go, okay.
Because you could tell who had the chin and who had the fucking power, and it was Lopez.
100%.
Volk had the IQ. And
Volk
that's what
did
we
more,
said.
and he did like well outstruck him.
Yeah.
and just
the
because,
jab man. Bomb.
Yeah,
bomb,
just because
bomb.
Volk, like Lopez has so much power though, but like it wasn't enough, obviously. But you can see Volk was so busted up from fucking half of the strikes,
And
and that
honestly-
just shows you Lopez's fucking power, man.
And I honestly think him going for takedowns was more so to just off-put him a little bit rather than try and take him down. Like I think he was just trying to mix it up, so it was putting him off a bit. But man, how good to see him back 5 fucking rounds.
Fucking oath.
Look
He's a
sharp,
champion
look
again
sharp
too.
as fuck for the belt. And just stoked, mate. Yeah, Volk by points. I hope you's all fucking got on that.
Oh yeah, that was the greatest bet in Australia on Sunday.
Oh, wasn't
Volk
it?
by
350.
It came in too. It got wound.
Did it
Yeah.
get wound?
Yep.
Yeah, right. Because, that was just fucking lovely.
The listeners had
Beauty.
a fucking
I'll give it a dead set
Screamer.
hiding. Yeah, the listeners fucking did.
Pimlet TKO in the
yeah.
by point.
That's right.
Well, I had Pimblett just head
Just
to head,
win, yeah.
but I was like, I'm not game enough to figure out how the cunt's going to win.
I like. So what's next for Volk? I think that Mosvar fella has to be it. The sniffer. We can't have another sniffer being champ. The sport will go to shit.
Yeah, I think Volk will do well enough. Like Islam, he did so well enough against Islam in that first fight, who tried his best to sniff. This is just like a smaller, less stronger Islam.
Now I think if he can't, if Islam couldn't fucking submit Volk, I think he's going to be
full,
okay.
healthy, fit Volk.
But I just
for a
can't
whole
see. see
I'd
him
love to see
fighting
Volk
anyone
just
else.
kick that
I think it
fuck in
makes
the
sense
head.
for him.
I don't
He's
know what it is.
undefeated, I'm pretty sure. And come back up and beat him and see
Yeah.
what happens. I don't know how many fights Volk wants to have now that he's got the title back. Probably 1 or 2, maybe. I'd
Yeah,
love
he's
to
done
see
enough.
him defend his belt and then go, this is the last one or something. Like,
Yeah.
I'd hate to see him push it too far and then have a similar result to retire
I
on.
reckon for legacy-wise for Volk, his next loss, say he wins the next 3, then retire or something, but if he loses in the next 2, 3 fights, then you just go, oh, I'm done, man. Like, if he loses the belt again, what's he going to do? Work his way back
Well,
up for another
classic
title
example, right? Amanda Nunes, they announced that she wants to fight again. You go, oh, couldn't you just fucking just be a
shot.
legend?
Sail off into
Yeah.
the sunset
Like,
as a legend.
obviously,
yeah.
it's cool to see legends fight.
They've just done it for so long. When they stop, they're like,
See, there's
what
the
do I do now?
double-edged sword, isn't it? You go, quit while you're still the best, but then they haven't tasted that loss, so they're probably thinking, I fucking still
I could
want to
beat
fight.
her.
Yeah,
So
I
they
could
come,
beat him,
so they come back, but then you want to go. You don't want to end up just getting Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, that poor
You know what I mean?
Just fulfilling
like,
a
there's the
contract.
opposite there.
He literally was a legend, I
bro.
reckon.
That's probably one of the biggest fall from grace in the UFC.
And he just
could have
keeps
easily had it shot at the belt against Conor, and when he was at the peak of his powers, and then just loves losing.
I don't think he ever fought.
He didn't fight Conor. No, but he wanted to.
He was supposed to fight Khabib a few heaps of times.
Yeah,
and it
when he
always-
was up in
something
about then
always
lightweight.
happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Conor could be like when they were in winning that belt, he had his chance and fucked it.
But yeah, so that's that for the card. Great to see Volk back.
It was great.
It's fucking unreal stuff. Just quickly on the Biffin front, all goes down GC Convention Centre next weekend.
Does too.
Keen as to get in there and have a crack. I've trained fucking hard, so I'm keen to test myself and just absolutely rip and tear afterwards with all you mad units who are coming. She's really filling up now. Actually, there's some seats left at like towards the back sort of thing. All the front sort of things are filled up. And beforethefight.com is where it's going to get streamed. So if you can't make it, you can watch it on beforethefight.com. And, mate, I'm just fucking keen as.
What was the issue with that last week?
I said letter
the letter 4.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But at least now they're going to have that Parmi thing for 4 years.
Yeah,
So at least
that
that's...
will live off that
yeah.
for a while.
There's,
you know.
there's no A in Parmi. So.
Nah, that's right. And now I've just got to live with that and realise that some loser is going to say that to me.
but you're prepared for it now.
Yeah,
too.
that's
it's
right.
Not like
it's not like I just stuck with it and say no. There's definitely not any.
Yeah. Like what normally happens, where we just say something and then hear about it the next morning.
Yeah.
We've picked it up.
Yeah.
We're early doors.
Yeah,
We
that's
picked it
right.
up.
But at least they've got something.
Get into us.
Yeah, just
fucking,
rip in.
It
Rip.
hurts me.
It's fucking Parmi.
Really
too,
hurts me.
but anyway, that's pretty much me, boys, on the Biffin front. There's a pretty good card. Free one next weekend. I think Ian Gary versus one of those fight nerds dudes. So that should be
true.
interesting. But we'll cover that next week.
Ian Gary. Well, boys, I think it might be happening in the F1. We might be getting Oscar to be the number one McLaren driver.
All true.
He's
Really?
won. He's won again.
Can't stop winning.
So look, he's not on top of the points yet. He's still Lando Norris is still above him, but fuck, man, he's got some speed there, and he's won again. So just make him the number one driver, and he'll be drivers' champ this year because McLaren are clearly going to win the constructors.
So what's the go? Is Max just shit now, or is his car shitter this year?
Oh, Max is still fucking good. But yeah, he doesn't have the car. So
Funny that.
he
Car
put
helps.
it this way, his partner, Lawson, the Kiwi, who we thought was Aussie,
Oh, that's right.
they dropped him back to their second
I did
team.
see that.
And
Didn't they promote some Japanese bloke when it was
for the
in
Japanese
Japan? Yeah.
Grand Prix, smart. But like he's, quite a decent amount behind Verstappen in qualifying and stuff. So yeah, he's obviously still a superior driver, but for some
who was
reason,
his
Tom,
Red
the
Bull?
car's slower.
Who was his Red Bull partner? Sorry.
I guess that's something I'll never understand.
Sorry?
Who was Verstappen's Red Bull partner again?
Lawson.
No,
Liam
like
Lawson.
last year.
Sergio Perez, who
right.
just
Is he
absolutely
Gorski's?
shattered. Yeah, he doesn't even have a drive, I don't think. He was so bad. Poor bloke. But
Is there
yeah,
any chance that is McLaren going to be like top premier team for a while now, or is there any chance that Red Bull poach Piastri because they want to have an Aussie?
oh, fucks me. I don't
because
know.
they've
I'm
had
not into it
Ricardo,
enough,
they've had
but-
Mark Webber. Like, is there a chance that they could be like,
Well,
hey,
fun fact, Mark Webber is Jack Doohan's manager, I believe. The
True.
Aussie.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's what they said. Yeah. Oh, sorry. No, Piastri's manager.
really?
Yeah, I
Jack
think I
Doohan.
heard Mark Webber is his manager, which is pretty fucking smart.
That
to get a
is.
bloke who got proper fucked over
Oh yeah.
to be your manager.
An
and go,
Aussie
right.
as well,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like one of our probably our best Aussie that we've had in the F1s, right?
For a while, yeah. Probably since. Oh no, Ricardo was pretty good.
Yeah, true.
I was
don't know
going
well
to say
enough
since Webber, but yeah,
Oh,
he
barbecue.
definitely is. Oh, fucking barbs. So yeah, pretty exciting because who knows? All they care about is winning. So if he keeps winning a few, then they might go, you know what? We'll make you
take the reins, mate.
the fucking number one boy.
Yeah.
That's all you're
There
going to
you
keep
go.
doing is keep winning.
Yeah.
Just
So
keep
good on
winning.
him. He's not going to get captain because there's only one man
That's-
getting that.
That's
a different
right.
Aussie.
So he's been ripped again.
Yeah.
But I think we did give it to him fucking at some point. So
But yeah, on that note though, CTC Captain of the Week brought to you by Country Trucker Caps. Go to thecountrycompanies.com for one of the designs the Knuckler's got. He's always coming up with new funny shit. All the trades are there. You know, your plumbers, your tilers, your fitters, your leckies, all that sort of stuff. So go and check that out. And go to countrytruckercaps.com to design your own. And like we said, boys, fucking Volkanovski.
It's
He's
the
getting it,
easiest.
He has to.
Shoo-in.
And a few people are pretty hard done by this week.
very
Rory?
hard done. by.
Fucking
Yeah, Rory's a great shout, and then
Oh, mate.
Piastri too. But Volk is just our man. He's our boy. He's
and
our
we
nation's
steered
man.
everyone into it. We were going to call the
We
punch
did.
show Volk via points.
Yeah, well, I did
Literally.
actually. I did mention it in the description.
Which is a
there.
great feeling to do, especially when so many cunts love just shitting all over you and your tips. Jump on, boys. Jump on. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Right. That's
that
probably
everything?
all we got time for, isn't it?
What are you looking forward to most, boys? This weekend of sport, Monday.
Easter Monday.
Yeah, it's got to be it.
Yeah.
Bronx games, like, yeah, righto. But, you know, rivalry, it's back like we spoke
Definitely
about.
Easter Monday.
We'll be parked up probably with a zinger box or something, just
Yeah.
hating my life.
Just fucking heaving into a big. What is it? Double stack of zingers? Is that what? Zinger stacker.
Yeah, zinger stacker.
Well, this is the last weekend
You might
for
be
me
doing
to behave
double
myself.
footy, double foot long.
Have done that.
Yeah.
a few times.
Behave
few
myself this
times.
weekend, and then she'll be fucking back to
On.
normality.
Yeah,
Next
you gotta
weekend.
you gotta make up for Easter next weekend.
Yeah, fucking, and I fucking will. Don't
Well,
worry about that.
This, I think a lot of people actually would have taken the 3 days off next week.
If you're a smart
So
man,
you got Easter Monday on one end and then Anzac Day on the other. If you took the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off, you end up with like 10 days.
Fucking oath.
So I think heaps of people would have done that. I
Yeah.
think it's school holidays and that too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Probably.
Probably not next week, but anyway. So yeah, it should be a good couple of weekends, and
Fucking oath.
I couldn't have worse rosters. So, but I'll be compensated, I dare say.
Yep.
So yeah, that's it. All we've got time for. Have a good Easter this weekend, and we'll obviously
See you on the Punt
you
Show.
Friday morning for the Punt Show. But if you don't tune into that, have a good Easter, spend time with the family, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
So ya.